Your host for tonight, Kyle Frisbee. We've got some exciting 2-5 no-limit hold'em action coming to you. You're going to see some familiar faces. Got a chance to look at the lineup out there. We've got a very strong group of some pros, some strong regular players, and we'll see some straddling as we go along. We've got 10 and $20 straddles pretty often in this game, so this play is extremely big.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We're going to kick it off here with a bomb pot. 10 bucks from each player. Ante up.
8 inches off the waist.
Yeah, just 8 more inches. Easy cake, you know?
Yeah, cake. Well, I mean, if anyone can do it, it's you, man. You restricted your diet to not include meat for years.
I have been eating
That's
meat.
a man
That's my
with
problem.
willpower.
Oh, that's true.
Can you push that out a little more?
That I had extra motivation. I was saving animals.
Kristen in the box to get things kicked off here.
You're beating bones in a prop bet, bro. That's
2 boards, pot limit Omaha. Everybody sees both flops. Typically a split pot game, but if you can manage to scoop, extremely profitable.
3 check, 4 check, 5 check, 6 check, 7 check, 8 check, 9 check, 2 check.
All right, checks quickly around. Let's see, Barber has trip 5s, no friends, so just trips, no full house.
7 check,
Who else has equity here is the hands load. Optimize
9 fold.
actually has flopped a flush, a jack high flush. Typically a somewhat vulnerable hand in a bomb pot, but at the moment is good.
3 call, 4 fold,
Barber's going to go ahead and bet his trips.
6 fold,
Got magic here. He has a pair of aces, but more importantly, the nut flush draw on the top board. Top board is always the board furthest away from the dealer.
push it out. T-Rex can't get it.
the Dallas TCH.
Obviously correlates with what you see on your screen.
Yeah. You can get like $79.
And Barber's going to get there. He has hit the nut flush, so he cannot lose the top board. A great position to be in now. Excuse me, Magic has hit the nut flush on the top, so see, he's going to go for pot, it looks like. He has told Kristen.
7 minutes
$400. Optimize has his flush, which is no longer any good on the bottom board. Also has a straight.
8 fold.
He's going to wisely lay it down.
400 is the bet. Yeah.
Now Bones, he does have a chop with his full house on the bottom if he makes a call, which he does. So pending Barber's action here, who's got to make a decision with his trip 5s. Pretty tough to make a call like this is with just trip 5s, jack kicker. Always looking to fill up if you have trips and a bomb pot. Just too likely somebody has a full house or a flush on this board that would beat your trips. It looks like Barber knows that, gets away. And Magic and Bones are going to win the first pot of the night.
Nut flush.
110 profit for each.
Full of 5s. Take your bets back.
Always a good feeling to be scooping chips your way, no matter how large the pot, as you kick the night off. So now we're going to switch over to 2-5 no limit hold'em. Our standard game here. Be playing more bomb pots periodically throughout the night, about every 30 minutes.
Take your bets. What name do you want on the stream? R-E-D-D-Y?
I love the Dallas TCH.
And he's starting with 5 fold.
I lost cleanest. Did you go then?
Is it still tacked to the absolute brim?
Yeah.
So they have a new one only, right? That's crazy.
Well, this is a Los Colinas one. I don't know what the Dallas one's like.
Are you sure he's in? Is
Las Vegas.
Yeah, Los Colinas, yeah. They never have an
I want to
update.
thank everybody joining us on YouTube, of course, and we are also on Facebook and Kick. So we will have those chats pulled up And I'll do my best to respond to any comments anyone has or questions.
4 fold. Or, sorry, 5 fold. 6 raise, 20.
Yeah, I'm heading up this weekend again. What?
It should be a good time. It's already
Yeah.
plenty of
7
activities.
raise,
People
16.
fire in tournaments.
Yeah.
Cash out.
Floor on
I've
stream.
never seen so many like
Jerome,
case.
I need a tip box. Let's grab a tip box.
Like, 2-5 games. It's
A
crazy.
tip box, please.
1500 max.
8 fold, 9 fold.
That's wild.
One fold. 2 fold.
4 was called, but now we're going. Magic with
3 fold.
nice pre-flop hand. Chris W with a suited ace 9.
4 fold.
I had a guy who was in a silver bomb pot with 3 waves on the river.
Magic's going to win a small one with his
Stacked all in and left the table.
hockey sticks.
Left the table.
Thank you,
The other
Jerome.
guy folded.
Thank you, guys.
And I feel bad I called. I took the money. I just took the money. It was like 3K. I'm like, I'm not.
The way too early leaderboard. We've got Magic and Bones chopping that initial bomb pot. They're both
Take the money.
winning over $100.
On the river.
Obviously, we'll flash this up to you throughout the night. You can follow along with
So a guy went all in on the river in a double board bomb pot.
the
No more
winnings of each
action.
player.
Folds to me. I'm like last to act. He gets up from the table and leaves. And there's like 1.7K in the middle, and he jammed like $1,000 in the river. And I called, and his hand was dead, and I just scooted.
The heck?
Yeah.
So he probably realized he misread his hand in a terrible way or something.
No, I don't know. They didn't show his cards because you have to be there to show your cards.
He
So.
abandoned his hand. That's a
Looks
fold.
like we have Reddy with us in seat 1. I played with Reddy here at TCH a couple nights ago. He won one of the largest bob pots I've ever seen at 1-2. It was almost $3,000. So it looks like he's going to put some of that in play at the higher stakes here.
He went on and left the table and with action pending. And he was gone for like 4 minutes. And I just called and like I was scooped because his hand was dead on
5
the
players.
He wasn't there to show his hands.
Did he come back?
I dipped before he came. I kind of did like
We're off to a flop. Not a whole lot for anyone except for Chris, who flops top pair with his 10 kicker.
What the fuck?
My man thought
The
he
hand's
was
over?
Yeah. That's probably what he thought.
It's gotta be the weirdest.
Punt is now going to turn a new top pair of
It's gonna happen
kings
to you
here.
exactly once in your life.
Only has a 5 kicker, so
Yeah.
Time the guy GMs.
has to be a bit of a concern.
Gets up and leaves.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely took advantage of the situation because I asked. I was like, "Is his hand dead if I call?"
So you didn't have anything.
No, I had like something, but it really wasn't.
You wouldn't have called if you were sitting there.
No, probably not.
5.
Punch is going to flat with his pair of kings now. Chris bets out once again, hoping his jacks are still good. Unfortunately, they aren't. And just James is going to get there with the nuts on the river. Hits his 5th club, so he's going to see how much money he can extract here. There's 2 opponents with weak to moderate holdings, so maybe a little tough to get much value, but should be able to get value at least some from punt here with top pair. The board pairing deuces also improves punt's kicker from a 5 to a jack, so some hands that were beating him because of his kicker are no longer. So just James actually is going to overbet the pot here a bit. Pretty standard play.
That. Strong hand. 175?
You got it.
Very nice, almost $500 pot there for just James with the nut flush. Always nice to hit the first big draw you have of the night. Got him over 1K so far. Most players buying in between 1,000 and 2,000. Get things kicked off here, but you'll see as we go along, players adding on. A lot of times we'll see multiple stacks and north of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
$1,000.
We'll be with you tonight until 10 p.m. Central Time, so settle in.
I feel like after
Got a lot of poker
taking
for
so
you.
long, I'm gonna check the switches
Bones, can you do
Want to welcome everybody in the chat here.
9 call?
See a lot of familiar faces. Poker Monkey, Frank,
1 fold, 2 fold.
Hammers here, Rena. Good to see all of you in the chat. Joey.
3 call. 4 fold, 5 fold, 6 fold. 7 call.
So interesting. I feel like the TCH in Dallas too. Like,
All right, so Optimize here with a premium. He's got ace king suited. Barber with ace jack.
4x bigger.
Gonna have kicker problems versus Optimize.
I definitely don't disagree. I definitely don't disagree.
there's like a
I've
lot
seen
of-
Barber play before. This looks like I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being a fold for him. He does have position on Optimize, so
It is. It's the Euros, man.
has that going for him, playing from the cutoff.
3 fold.
Yeah, lets it go.
It is pretty Euro infested.
Good decision. He was
Yeah, everyone thought you
well
were-
behind the ace king.
Yeah, dude, there were people calling you a Euro. Yeah, that's pretty well. Yeah. I was like, my friends over there.
Magic
said, oh,
is going to make the call here with 10 jack offsuit. Likely is aware that he's behind now, but 10 jack, one of those hands that is a big hand buster. He is going to flop top pair here and actually take the lead.
I think that's a nice way
Eight
of saying
check.
play fast.
Also has a gut shot to a 9. Queen on the turn
You look too
gives
Euro.
both players a gut shot now.
Pair of blue eyes.
8 bet, 175.
They call you a German pro.
Yeah.
Optimize is going to bet out. Quick call from Magic here. Has a pair of 10s. Potential straight draw. Everyone bricks with the 3 of spades. Magic's pair of 10s. Still good.
8 check. Showdown this. Pair of
Looks like
10s.
Optimize is going to give up and check. Probably wouldn't have got a bluff through. Magic's going to take his showdown value and scoop a nice pot. Almost 750. Headed into the stack of Magic.
Thank you very much, Mark.
The food there is really good. At least like the salmon there. It was really good.
Salmon over rice.
Yeah, it was like the best. It was the best piece of salmon I've had actually. It was really, really good.
Kicker problems says everyone
Really
hates
like, yeah,
kicker
this
problems.
place kinda right there.
That is funny. Kicker problems.
A Brazilian steakhouse too, like in the same complex.
Oh, it's oh yeah, yeah. I walked down there.
I forget the name of it, but I went.
Kicker problems are real.
One of the games over there.
Barber didn't want to find himself in that situation.
Dallas?
Yeah.
Made the right
Yeah.
decision to
I
get
played
rid of the
a
ace
Muscatine
jack.
in the old one, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. And yeah, it's pretty wild. It's
Yeah.
a great place to play poker.
Yeah.
9 fold. Five, 10.
It's like a band of players that's like kind of like the lodge, except they're playing all stakes, not just 1, 2.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Jaywin with the real hand here. He's got the jacks.
5 fold. 6 fold.
The pocket jiggities, as they're affectionately referred to.
7 call.
He's going to raise it up. Magic coming along with a suited queen here. Seems like he's ready to mix it up early.
Is that a new Bill hoodie?
7 check.
Pair of 5s here for Magic. Just going to check over to Jaywin. Jaywin,
4 bet.
pretty good flop for jacks here. No overcards. Has backdoor spades if he needs them. He's going to bet. Magic's going to call with his pair of fives. 7 of spades on the turn makes this a very connected wet board. See if J-Win goes for more value, even with the flush getting there. Wow, J-Win with the Dream River here. Now has a set of jacks. Still loses to any spade flush, though. Does not have a full house. Magic's going to bet into him. He's probably wrestling. He's certainly not folding. Wrestling between if he can get more value from a worse hand. This board, that beating. It's a lot of flush. He's just going to flip in the call and.
Pair of fives. Set of jacks.
Win way ahead here with this set of jacks on the river. I don't blame J-Win for not raising. On that board, unlikely to get action from a hand that he can beat. There's too many straights and flushes.
Yeah. That happened to me in Dallas. I had like trips with like a really bad kicker. And I just like I tanked for like
Straight and flush possibilities, I should say.
What are you thinking about? I'm gonna think about raising them. Yeah. It feels.
You didn't leave any value on the table.
Yeah, I was trying to see what he called.
Yeah.
10 to call.
Queen 5 was not it. It was not that, that's for sure.
Oh, but it looked very valuable.
9 fold.
You would have gotten me. Now I've said jacks.
3 fold. 4 fold. 5 raise 30. 6 raise 90. 7 fold.
Couple of solid aces here. Ace-10 for just James. Chris with an ace-queen. Just gonna raise and take it. One's a small one. Chris, an excellent player that's played with us many times in the past. See across the bottom, stack sizes and winning. So Magic leading the way up a little over 300. Optimize. A little bit of misfortune to start the stream, down almost 500. However, as recently as a week ago, Optimize had a huge night on stream, winning around $5,000.
Can you guys scan it? Because 1 fold, 2 fold.
See if he can get it going here as we move along. Matthew Farmer in chat says good lineup tonight. I definitely agree.
4 raise 15. 5 fold, 6 fold, 7 fold. 8 call.
Most of this table is well known in the Austin poker arena.
8 check. 9 check.
2 pair for J-Win.
4 bet.
All spades on the flop, though.
8 call.
Nobody with a spade in their hand.
Heads up.
Optimize does have a gut shot to a straight. Needs a queen. Does not get it. J-Win's 2 pair gets counterfeited with the 10 on the turn, so he now just has aces and 10s with a 6 kicker.
4 check.
Oh, but boats up on the river here, so
8 check.
J-Win gonna go for some value. As small as the pot is, I wouldn't doubt he overbets this. See if he can get a crying call.
I'll put the ring into the river until you tell me. 4
And it goes about pot. Quick fold there.
Thank you, Dick.
Looks like we got the $10 straddle on from Bones, seat 2. And we're off to hand number 8. Hope everyone's having an excellent Monday out there, wherever you're tuning in from. If you were here in Austin today, you were the beneficiary of some fantastic weather. Beautiful, sunny, cool day, but very comfortable. Feel free to chime into the chat and let us know where you're watching from. Always interesting. I believe last time we had a few folks in Europe and Australia, along with our many viewers here in the U.S. and Texas. A couple of pretty raggedy-looking hands here. We got 6-4, and Reddy has a Jack-7. Bones with a mystery 8. The cards are read through the table using a radio frequency ID.
I mean, that's the whole battle, right?
So if the player doesn't get it quite on the sensor, it will not read correctly. It may have happened with Bones here, but can make it interesting to kind of try to play along and guess what they have. Whatever it is, he is going to make a call. Magic actually is going to turn a pair here with his 6-4, which to our knowledge would be the best hand.
After taking a nap and going to play cards, I feel a lot sharper and like more refreshed, you know. But like I don't get that though.
King pairs the board on the river.
A little bit, yeah. I feel like most people would say it's the opposite for them, but for me, like the nap really helps me. I don't know. It's always been that way.
Bones is going to lead out for a very small bet. Quick call from Magic with his pair of 6s, and looks like Jack-8 for Bones, and that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Looks like he had flopped middle pair. Also had the Jack of clubs, so had a backdoor flush draw after the turn.
I feel like 100%. Now I'm getting like maybe 7 a day, and I feel fine, but I do feel like mentally I'm not as sharp.
Squeezed about as much value as he could get out of a pair of 6s there. Nicely played.
Also, if I go into ketosis, it really messes up my. Really messes me up.
Here below you see the PFR, or the pre-flop raise percentage for each one of the players. This is just a good way to see who's coming in aggressively if they enter a pot. Folks who do a lot of limping or checking out of the blinds are going to have a much lower PFR.
Yeah, and then I need to do heavy carb meal before doing anything or before doing poker.
Most of these folks, these guys are going to be raising if they enter a pot the vast majority of the time. So typically the PFR with a lineup like this is going to end up being relatively close grouping. Magic's going to wake up with a decent hand here. He's got ace-jack offsuit.
Yeah, so now by the time like 9 or 10 hits, I'm like ready to go to bed. It's hard for me to stay up without being heavily caffeinated.
Punt's going to come along with his 9-6 suited.
That's true, yeah.
And here's the real hand, Barber with big slick.
Something that's really distracting too is like I get really
See what he decides to do here. It's a great time to go ahead and squeeze.
It really messes up the poker playing. I'm just like thinking.
Already $150 in this pot. Barber playing this from under the gun. Actually, I believe he was in the straddle, so this is his first action, but he'll be out of position the remainder of the way. He does bump it up 3x the previous raise to 180.
Heroin.
Magic's going to get a pretty good price to go ahead and call that. Punt, maybe regretting mixing it up with 9-6 suited, but technically his hand doesn't play that bad against these two holdings, so he's going to let it go, and we're going to go to a flop. So Barber has Magic dominated with the king kicker versus Magic's jack. He's going to need to come from behind here, and he's going to be much further behind now as Barber's going to flop trip kings with his ace kicker. Beautiful flop if you're holding ace king. Already about 450 in the middle. Let's see if Barber decides to slow play this or lead out.
You know, when she sees you're not going to make it,
He's going to go ahead and lead out. A lot of players, and Magic gets out of there quickly. I kind of like the lead there from Barber because it's so common for folks to smash a flop with trips like that and go ahead and automatically check to try to slow play. So leading out can often trick your opponents into believing you don't have the trips as they would expect you to have slow played. So not obviously we can't get in the head of Barber, but that may have been what he was considering.
pressure is at maximum.
I think it's very table dependent to know whether it's a good idea to go ahead and lead out or versus slow play if you crush a flop like that. Particularly with trips because it's so undisguised.
It's like a twisted way to get his money back, you know? Like he paid her out, but like somehow he shows up and gets his hands in the bank account.
Oh my God.
And we're on to hand 10. After this hand, we'll tell you about a couple of the exciting things going on at Texas Card House across the state. Got a couple of tournament series with some big guarantees in both Dallas and Spring, Texas. So go over that here in a moment. But first, we have a flop of A7-7. Pretty big air ball for both players. Jack on the turn improves no one. Queen high still good for J-Win. And J-Win gets the old, doesn't even get the chips out of their fold before Barber mucks his cards. All right, well, Kristen gets us shuffled up here.
$10 if you'd like to put it on top.
Let's talk about the Spring Classic. March 6th through 17th at Texas Card House Spring. Perfectly named event. Spring Classic will be $400,000 for the main event. $600 buy-in. It's a great sweet spot for a lot of folks, including myself. Might even have to make the trip over from Austin to Spring to play that event. Can't beat almost $500,000 in the prize pool with a $600 buy-in. So exciting event coming up here in March. Just a couple weeks away.
I don't know.
Sashimi only.
Sashimi only.
Sashimi only.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty good bump.
Looks like we're actually playing our second double board PLO bomb pot here. Just quickly for some of the listeners who may not be as familiar with bomb pots or pot limit Omaha, so every player antes up $10. Everyone sees both flops. You must use 2 cards from your hand,
I don't think it'll make too much of
so you can't have the ace of diamonds and make the nut flush if you don't have a second diamond in your hand. That's one good example. Get a little more to how it's played, but for now we have 2 sets of queens for punt. He has flopped a set of queens on both boards. Huge equity on the top board.
6 calls. 8, 7 fold, 8 fold. 3 players.
Looks like, excuse me, the bottom board actually. Let's see, did we have a player with diamonds here?
How much was it again? 5K?
No, only one.
We did. Chris has flopped the nuts on the top with the ace-5 of diamonds. So
Too easy. Too much pressure.
Chris and Punt can't lose unless they fold. Certainly would not be doing, as they both have the nuts on their respective boards.
6 bet C75. What's the pot now?
Jaywin has a lesser flush on the top board with his 9-6.
If I can do an extra 1K, how to get to 190.
770.
A little bit more pressure.
Also had 2 pair, but he gets out of the way, and we're going to have an all-in,
Really just give you more money.
I believe. Haven't seen the all-in button out there just yet, but
Diamonds.
pretty safe river, so diamonds hold. Always happy if you flop a flush to not see the board pair, and same story for Punt on the bottom. 3 made some possible straights, as well as the 3rd heart, but these set of queens are still good. So they'll chop that one up.
Thank you very much.
We're about to be on to hand number 12. For those that joined late, thanks again for hopping on. This is TCH Live Austin. I'm your host tonight, Kyle Frisbee. You can follow me on Instagram. I make some periodic poker content.
It's yes. We were like sick at how much
KW
money we wasted on
Frisbee,
like, not shopping at
spelled
Costco.
Frisbie.
We're gonna save like thousands a year.
Yeah, I think so. And you're like, why did I buy 27 cans of tuna? Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing about it. Is sometimes the quantity is so obscene.
Reddy's got a suited queen. Looks like he wants to play.
Like 5 containers of nuts. Or would you have just, you know?
Barber with better hearts, much better hearts
Well, like,
here.
the thing
Actually,
is,
the
like, we generally stick to,
ace-6.
like, the same rotation of foods.
Jaywin with the Dolly Parton, 9-5.
We stick to like the same rotation of foods, and so
Especially now.
yeah, like I'm
Just
just
James here with a strong
I
ace.
love bananas, blueberries, cherries, tofu, potatoes, and that's it.
Great players.
Moderate to strong. Ace-Jack. A lot of folks a bit
And salt.
indifferent with that hand, but does flop top pair here.
Salt licks.
Unfortunately for Barber, he also flops top pair, but it is second best. But Reddy actually gets rewarded for playing a pretty speculative hand. He's going to flop 2 pair with the ace-deuce. This is going to be a tough spot for just James and Barber, both with top pair.
Unless you have honey.
Barber gets away pretty easily here.
All in.
Just James is going to jam, and he's snap called. Reddy was very short stacked here, so he had already put in about half his stack with a $200 bet. So just James, he's got about 30% equity here, and he's going to get there with the board pairing. And just James gets there immediately again. Wow. $1,000 going just James's way.
Queens and tens.
Reddy.
Yep.
Pretty tough run out there after flopping 2 pair. You're short stacked. You're trying to get a double up so
Yeah,
you
I
can
have no idea. Right?
mix it up with some of these bigger stacks. But a lot of times flopping bottom and middle pair, you're very vulnerable to a top pair type hand, just as James had there. So just James rewarded for playing a stronger range pre-flop. Good to have James with us. Been with us pretty frequently on streams the last few months.
That's what
And he's actually going to be the biggest winner thus far, up almost $800.
Channel 10.
But we're just getting started here. We're only on hand 13. We'll see if Reddy rejoins us. Right now, he is the
I did get a
most
double
stuck
bet.
right at $500. But
What?
this game plays pretty big, so the swings
I
of
got 2 queens. So.
500 or so dollars are pretty common.
10 or 7 fold.
Yeah, but I booked one with a later checkout. They're like 3 miles away from the club, but they still gave like a really good rate, and it has a kitchenette. So.
4 fold.
I thought you literally meant a double bet.
Lots of
Yeah,
ace
not literally
jack
a double bet. Yeah.
holdings
2 bets,
today.
yeah,
So
double
Bones,
bet.
it's his turn with the ace jack, and he's going to win a small pot here.
Nice and cozy.
Was in the cutoff. It's a good spot to play ace jack. No action.
Yeah, let me know. We can probably do whatever if you want. But it was only like, came to like $200 for like the room over the weekend.
All right, we're going to show VPIPs here. So pretty small sample size, but VPIP just gives you a measure of how tight a player is playing, especially pre-flop. So Jay wins, mixed it up the most here.
Yeah.
Optimize at the bottom along with Bones, but over
I forgot.
just a few hands, this just very skewed based on the strength of what you're dealt. But we'll have a better view of how folks are playing as we get to about the halfway point. 50 or so hands,
That's what I
and
thought you were saying.
typically end around hand 100, depending on how quickly everyone's playing.
The hotel lady was making like $3 an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah. No, I just,
Speaking of playing, Punt's going to play the ace-queen offsuit. Barber's got a suited queen 9.
Because it's a tip.
He's going to go ahead and make the call. Jay win. A lot of Broadway cards here. Jay win's got king 10
Usually when I
suited.
remember, I'm like really generous with the tip. Like I'll tip like
compensate.
I'll tip like
King
10%,
10 suited,
you
a
know, like,
pretty
so it's
but
like
sometimes
$200
tricky hand to play.
I feel like that's pretty good. I don't know.
You just get stiffed most of the time.
Yeah,
That-
you
that
just
one
get
time.
stiffed like
That one
2/3 of the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Flash pot.
4 players.
All right, we've got top pair for Jay win
1 check.
with his king 10. Pair of 9s for Barber.
I also might go below. We'll see. I have trouble sleeping.
Punt's got 2 overs and a gutter.
Might have to not go with Chris.
Magic has the same, different gut
I just get
shots.
No. I don't know what it is. It's just like I just have
3 of
trouble
clubs on the turn is a big old blank. Changes nothing.
Chris kind of
Yeah,
looks
I
like
was gonna block it.
Nobody with clubs.
9 fold.
I did lock my money in the safe in the hotel room when Chris was in the room with me last time.
Yeah.
well, that's
What time?
a smart move.
Yeah.
Never be too safe.
Pretty decent pot building 4 ways here. Got
Yeah. Wake
about
up.
400 in the middle. The 7
You did kind of snore.
Did I?
At one point, yeah. I think.
7 joint.
Most
really
builds-
connects this
Yeah,
board,
I
but
snored.
does not change
Taking after my dad.
anyone's holding. So Jaywin actually is going to hold
My dad.
with his pair of 10s
Well,
on
all
the
become
flop.
our dad sooner or later. You just have to wait for it.
He's once again in a spot where it's tough to go for a lot of value. You might value own yourself,
4 bet 80.
but he is going to choose to go for some value this time. Goes relatively small, $80. If he gets raised, he can fold, but not going to get any action.
80 is last time.
And he's going to win a nice pot, almost around $350 in profit. So played nicely, multi-way.
I'm definitely down to drive up to there, though. At least if you want to get your own room.
Barrels live stream.
All right, as we get ready for hand number 15, our other spring promo. So we have the Leap into Spring series
I almost killed it.
coming to you from Las Colinas and the Dallas location of Texas Card House. So over $1.8 million in guarantees. This is actually starting tomorrow. February 20th through March 4th.
10 miles an hour.
So huge series up in our North Texas locations between Las Colinas and Dallas. So hop on to TexasCardHouse.com, leap into Spring Series. You can see the URL there at the bottom left to check out all the events and how to join that huge promo. $1.8 million, a lot to play for.
2 raise 50.
All right, back to the poker here. Jaywin now with a ace-10 suited.
4 raise 50.
Hasn't finished stacking his chips from king-10 suited. Magic with his second pair of hockey sticks. I believe he had 7s on the very first hand of the night.
Chris, you drink? I did not know that. Bills fans drink. At the bottle
Looks
for
like
head
he
magic.
is just going to go ahead and let him go.
Ah, yes.
Chooses not to go set mining.
He's looking for a reason.
Like getting in a hand where you're getting totally free rolled. Yeah.
So Jaywin just going to 3-bet and take it here.
What is that sound? That Zelda sound? Like,
That is.
It's
I
going to make
hear
about
it
$77.
3 times every time I play here.
Gotta be like one of those floors ringtones or something.
Yeah.
I'll grab it right now.
What does the Zelda sound mean when you guys play it?
That's Jerome's phone.
Oh,
Looks like we have the $10 straddle on here
Why do they give you? Why you
from
gotta cheapen
punt.
out, man? They're buying mini
20
beers.
from Bones. We're raising it up. The stakes, that is.
wow.
Jeez,
Good
blame
side.
Derek. We were out of beers today.
side.
Derek, what's with the 8-ounce beers?
I have to say, at 1-2 and 2-5, well, 1-3 also. That double straddle is the real difference maker. $10 straddle in a 2-5 game, marginal difference, but once you have the 20 on and a 3x raise is now 60, you start to build a pot
Hey,
pretty
we had no
quickly.
beers. At least Derek went and got us some. 5 raise 50. 6 fold.
So far, Ace-Jack is the hand of the stream. Seems like every other hand somebody has Ace-Jack. This time it is just James with the Ace-Jack. Punt's got a King-10. He's going to come along. Looks like Bones is going to squeeze here with Jack-5 suited. And I think this is probably going to work. He's going to make it big. 325. King-Queen offsuits shrinks very fast unless Magic puts Bones on
I think
a
that's an 8-ounce.
pure move here. I would imagine he's
I didn't even know they made it out.
I didn't know. 7?
going to find his cards in the muck.
Not even 8 ounces.
Beer shocks.
That's like the same as a little Horizon milk.
There they go. Punt quickly folds as well. Nice move from Bones. A no-sweat way to win $155. Bones, a very well-known player here in the Austin area.
We didn't even know they made 7-ounce beers.
He's had some excellent cash game and tournament results.
Like one of those
Where did you get it?
variety cereal packs where you get all the different
I would assume he tries to mix in a
Just looked at what's the cheapest per
A
unit.
multi-pack.
squeeze like that with a more marginal holding, just to kind of balance his range. Just so his opponents, when he does make a move like that, can't immediately assume he has a premium hand.
There's an opener over here on the thing.
I don't think anybody will handle one of those.
It's like there's an opener in my mouth.
What? Hang on.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was able to come back.
I got another guy. I didn't know. Floor, live stream?
Fight for it.
Yeah,
I'll
physical.
bust.
Whoever pays the most in the splash
Did you-
pot gets the.
Reddy came back. I don't know.
Gets the seat.
I don't know what happened. Huh? Yeah, he was playing here. I didn't know he was returning.
So Rahul, that is still going to be your seat. I'm sorry, man. I think there was some miscommunication there. Let's
Looks like Reddy may be returning to seat 1 here.
10 minutes.
And yes, Reddy is back.
You might need 2 in 10 minutes.
He's going to short buy for 200.
I want to see Rob hold it here.
We're rooting for everybody in the studio, but just
No way he's pulling.
harkening back to past experience, very rarely has somebody been able to run up
Yeah.
a short buy like a couple $100, $300 in a game like this.
I mean,
Just
that's what I had.
too small to protect your hand. Also are going to have to win multiple all-ins before you have a stack large enough to garner any fold equity. So we'll see what Reddy can do here. In this case, bricks out just James's pair of 9s. Going to be ahead.
9 bet 60. 1 fold.
Punt with air, but is going to go ahead and bet just James. He's got second pair. He's going to go ahead and make the call. And punt's going to get there on the river, rivering a pair of kings. So his semi-bluff now turns into a value bet. Just James, he's going to call turn. It's going to be a little tough for him to get away on the river here. Although a king easily is in punt's range. See what Just James decides to do. He's going to let it go. Nice fold for Just James. Saves himself a black chip. Speaking of chip denominations, the reds, as you see punt stacking there, those are worth $5 each. Any white chips, $1. Greens, $25. The black chips are $100. And the purple chips are $500. We'll likely have some of those on the table a little later as the stacks deepen. And we have our orange $1,000 chips. So had a few of those on the table last week, so we'll see if we get that deep.
9 call. 1 fold.
Anybody watch the NBA All-Star game?
2 call.
Pretty quiet, huh? I didn't even know it was NBA All-Star
3
week,
players.
which I think is a little crazy. Maybe like the market must be really bad.
It's always the weekend after Valentine's Day.
Really?
9 check.
But the fact that like
Trip aces here for
I
Chris.
watch a lot of NBA games, but
Yeah.
I watched some games. The fact that I didn't know that it was.
Trip aces are still going to be good with the king on the turn, but does improve punt to 2 pair. Aces and kings with his jack kicker.
I saw some of those, yeah. But I didn't.
Chris with a little bit of a milky $40 bet here. Improves to a full house. Punt's actually going to lead. It is reasonable to think his pair of kings are good, but not this time. Chris has got aces full of 6s, so he's just deciding
I mean, this is
how much value to go for. So he's going to make it, he goes big, 300.
the young ones. I mean, I don't know if they're like very good or entertaining as the original.
Pretty
Or even
polarizing raise here. It's either a bluff or exactly what he has with a full house. Looks like punt is leaning toward paying him off. Gonna see the bad news if he puts the stack of green, and he does. So Chris gets paid off. Pretty much max value for his flop trip aces rivered full house. Nice hand for Chris there.
Interesting, the Costco thing said saving money, right? Like in like 1 week.
King on the turn was
Convinced I'd save money by being a Costco member.
costly for
Really?
punt there.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced.
And if I do, it's not the main reason I'm a Costco member.
Like we're only.
I would have liked to see him maybe just go the check call route on the river. He's any hand that Chris can raise him with,
I told him sweet.
other than a pure bluff, is definitely beating his aces and kings with the jack kicker.
Oh
So.
my god!
Way to win.
Hit him down. They're still high. I'll have to go over there and see what you got.
Feel free to put the books in the.
Wow.
Maybe some ways to get to showdown a little cheaper with a
No shame.
moderate strength holding there.
Oh man. Don't they have like a BOGO deal? I've always wanted to try Tip Streets too. Always wanted to try.
Oh, he's always winning.
Always wanted to try Tip Streets.
All right, suited ace for James.
Chocolate milk to dump it in?
50 is the bet.
30.
Oh, you said birthday confetti? Oh my.
It's 30. I'm gonna check that
No,
out.
but
Don't lie.
Chris, you want some?
Yeah, sure. I'm sitting right next to him. I feel like I have to. I'm obligated.
Oh,
Got another raggedy ace for Barber, ace 8 versus ace 9. Some other speculative holdings. Chris is actually going to come out on top. Reddy has flopped a pair of 8s and has jammed. And this is the problem with those short buys. He has put it all in, but Chris is going to have him
This tastes like a
in bad shape when he inevitably calls with his top pair king kicker.
oh, that's my favorite, man. Honestly, birthday cakes. Really
Barber's
good. They're
got
all
middle
good.
pair with the ace of hearts, so does have a backdoor flush draw. He's going to go ahead and call the 145. See what Chris does. He might decide to raise Barber out of this pot. There's a lot of turns that are bad for top pair here with 2 hearts. But he's going to just flat with 2 hearts and the jack 8. Any 9, any 10, any heart, any queen. And that's as big of a blank as we could have gotten, folks. The jack of spades changes nothing.
wow, look at that.
So Chris squarely in the driver's seat here with his king jack.
Oh my god.
175.
He's going to bet. I assume Barber is going to fold.
If you can just get him to take
Probably
one bite,
doesn't
it's
expect Chris to be
It's over.
betting
Just
into
one
a
bite.
dry pot there. So and actually improves to 2 pairs. So Chris is going to take down 560, and Reddy is felted once again.
See it on live
As I
stream.
mentioned before, really tough to hang in there with the short buys in a game of this size. So we'll see if Reddy rejoins us in the 1 seat.
Cookies?
Yeah, I got a clear coming. What name would you like?
We're about to play hand 20. I'm going to take a quick post break here, and I'll be right back with you guys.
M-A-T-T-P-O-T. And how much are you coming in? 1,000.
Did you get any better? No. We got the birthday cake confetti kind too. That's the nuts.
Try an auto tone.
Straddle 10. 5 full, 6 full. They all good? Okay. 7 full, 8 full, 9 full. One full.
I hope this is none of you guys, but someone wiped their butt instead of putting the toilet paper in the toilet.
Yeah, I just had to.
Dude, they put it in the trash can instead of down the toilet.
No,
Put it in the open. Put it in the open lid trash. Like there's no lid on the trash can. It's just in the trash can. There's like shit on the toilet paper. Instead of
Optimize. Come on, man. You're getting sloppy.
my God. My God. Yes.
All right, folks, we're back here. We've got Ace King versus sixes. J-Win going to be ahead on an 8-high flop.
Hang on, guys. Are you caught up?
Go in there and look.
TCH, read
No,
that.
I was just in there.
Just going to go ahead and bet it. Just one overcard to the sixes.
It was not yours.
Decent flop for a pair of
I don't know
sixes.
why they would do that.
Turn brings in a gut shot, so 4 would give Bones a wheel here. He obviously still has his 2 overs as well.
Oh my God.
Actually, the wheel draw would give J-Win a higher straight, so the 4 would be a disastrous card for Bones. J-Win's going to bet and take it, though. He will not see a river.
It's not like watching them pit, like make sure they wash their hands.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's like a good reason to have it.
Yeah, like
Looks like the
But like these people, they were like,
players have some kind of snack or treats.
it was funny. Oh, they do that around or something?
yeah, they do. They do that
Not
around.
exactly
They got,
sure
like, a
what
table
they're
with sweets in there. Got a guy in there
enjoying
like,
here.
pumping on this. He's got like 2 speakers. Like all he needs is a DJ table.
Yeah.
Yeah, bathroom candy.
You know what I mean? Like it's sitting in there for a long time.
And they got the tip jar right there. You know, since he's like DJing so hard in the bathroom.
James, do you want to milk?
No.
They literally,
Yes, I'm sure.
will pump the
You're not
soap.
gonna break me.
Like they'll pump the soap out for you.
We could
You
just
wanna
break you off like
straddle,
pieces.
James?
You know, just one
No, I'm not interested.
one little bite.
Are you rebelling?
Yes. This is Bones' fault. I didn't hit the straddle.
7 full eight.
You can laugh all you do the first
It's like we have a vote for Tips Treats Cookies.
count that frame later.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Freudian that I said treats because it does look like they're her boxes.
I really am. I'm usually always one to straddle, but the full straddle all the time.
Well,
I
you've had
agree
less
with you,
energy,
Nathan.
Yeah.
You know, lack of
Yeah.
It's going to be a bump
carbohydrates.
out this hand, everybody. Bump out. Thank you very much.
All right.
Dude, those cookies smell so good. Like they really.
Pretty uneventful hand 21 there, so we're going to move along
Victorious on this bet, like the
to
first
our
thing you're
third
gonna
bomb
do is
pot.
Tips treats.
Okay. With Bones' money, and I'm gonna get 2 dozen cookies with Bones' money.
So now Bones is out all that money and the tips treats. I mean, honestly, that was probably expensive. That's probably what, $45 a cookie, $50
No,
a
that-
cookie.
Well, how many did
It
you buy?
ain't cheap.
Once again, double board, pot limit Omaha.
He thought I was gonna just
Must
slam a
use
dozen.
2 cards from your hand.
That's two. Right.
Can be different cards on either board.
Yeah, it's about like
Yeah, they have buy one, get
Everyone
one
puts
free.
in a $10 ante. Everyone sees
Oh, that's not bad. But then you
the
gotta-
2 flops. And we play pot limit
That's Uber
from
Eats,
there
right?
on.
Buy one, get one, dozen free. Yeah. I know. I look at it all the time.
Often
I'm
a
like, dang, I
split
really
pot
like some tips.
game, but if you can
he's
scoop,
really going long on you eating it. $1,000
extremely
$1,000
profitable.
cookies. I mean,
Yeah.
really.
He's really nervous.
In fact, right here at Texas Card House Austin, a couple days ago, saw a player
love that juice.
win almost $3,000 in a bomb pot. So
Ignore the
can
TV, guys.
escalate quickly.
A minute and a half behind. He's not keeping up with us today. 4 check.
Pot.
90.
Take a moment and let everyone's hands load here. See a 2 pair for just James on the top board and the bottom board. It's got top 2 on both.
1 full.
See if anybody has hearts.
2 call. 3 full. 4 full.
Punt with some low straight possibilities and nut hearts. So it has some equity on both boards.
3 players.
Believe that is made a straight for just James.
360.
Actually, no, did not have the deuce 3. The other portion of the straight. So everybody with some equity here. Punt just James and Bones. Just James pots it and punt. He's got a big draw on both boards. This could be spicy. Punt has straight possibilities. He already has 2 pair. Could make a boat. Any 4, any 5, any ace.
Sorry.
Bones with a wrap on the bottom. Tons of ways to make a straight. Also has queen high hearts. Unfortunately, his hearts are covered by punts, nut hearts. It's going to be an interesting river, folks. Already got almost 1,500 in the middle, so we are headed toward one of the biggest pots of the night. At least one of these folks is likely to be scooped. And nut hearts get there. Oh, excuse me, wrong board. So we've got the graphics now updating. So Bones is actually going to get there with the straight. So he's got queen 10 on the bottom is good. And just James is actually going to be good with his 7-3 straight.
7-3 and ace.
He jams, Bones calls, and they're going to chop it up.
Straight to the 7. Take your bets back.
So over 3,300 in the middle. Is a chop pot, but still a nice profit for both James and Bones. 260 apiece.
The good news is it's definitely a 1-2 player.
Very interesting run out there. Every player had a chance to scoop on the river. Very rarely see that.
Get stacked and give away a seat right away when he'll see it again. Fuck these guys.
Fuck this place.
Just so
I'm gonna tear up
bad.
that
I can't
bathroom.
believe that. Like, who does that? Why would you do that?
Unfortunately,
dirty all
Yeah, dude. It wasn't like a little. It wasn't like a faint like brown dude.
Looks like we have a new player in seat 1. He's going to go by Matt Potts.
Oh,
We'll
shit.
see Matt here in a moment.
That's nothing for TCH. Nothing TCH hasn't seen.
Oh, no. Remember they had no plumbing
full
for a
flags
couple
for
weeks,
sure.
so that's true. Yeah, the water was out for like a whole night. Yikes.
Let me know in the chat if everyone can hear the table chat. We've got a pretty lively table tonight, so I'll try to stay out of the way if anyone's
We have dudes
saying
putting
something
their
interesting
shitty
at the
toilet
table.
paper in the trash cans when the water's on. Let alone when it's out.
This is better than trash.
All right, a lot of moderate holdings here. I like the 6-5 suited. Plays pretty well multi-way. And that is a great flop for 6-5 suited. One more heart and it would have been just about all you can ask for, but he does, James does flop the open ender, backdoor flush draw. Bottom pair for Barber, but he's facing a $100 bet, and on an ace high board, this is be pretty speculative to continue. And just James is going to win with 6 high, but he had a lot of outs. Nicely played by just James.
That's kind of a risk. Chips in the rack.
All right, the picture smell is dissipating. I think I'm in the clear.
So the went to showdown numbers
Half a cookie, you know? Maybe.
measures exactly as you would imagine. How many hands have somebody
It's not too late.
had to show down
It'll set me off.
at the river
That's what he's
versus
counting.
an opponent with nobody folding?
Oh, the gas light.
See what
Yeah.
kind they are.
Got another 6-5. This one's unsuited, but Magic is going to play it.
See it on live stream.
6-5 is hot. It's going to hit middle pair here.
Jay, you were first. Sorry.
Like fruity, but it's
See if we can have back-to-back 6-5 wins.
Check. One check.
Ace on the turn. It's going to slow Magic down, I would imagine. And that is going to be 2 pair for the 6-5
I did.
from Magic. So
Yeah.
7 bet 25.
Matt pots with just a pair of deuces.
You like combo buff?
Might be tempted to flick in 25 bucks, but looks like
it was
he's
between that and Tumble 22.
preparing
Ended
to
up
fold
getting
here
Tumble
and
22
does.
sandwich and mac and cheese.
So back-to-back hands, one with 6-5. Yeah, let's see if we can make it 3. Why not?
Oh, poor turd is sitting there. Probably give him an extra couple bucks.
Do not tell me you're looking up Tips Treats calorie information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can eat 1 bite.
There was this, in college, there's this guy I knew, Eddie's family, like, groomed him for Hollywood, essentially, like, to be an actor, model, that guy. He's a very good-looking guy, very fit, like, extremely fit, actually. Anywho, when we were in college, we would go out, and you know how afterwards...
Got the
he would,
crabs for Matt
he'd eat
Potts
it with us, but what he would do is he'd chew it,
in the
spit it out in
+1.
the bag.
Disgusting, bro.
And that's how he'd eat with us.
I know a stripper like that.
Now he has an 8-pack.
You know more than one stripper like that.
There's another ace-jack.
25.
Had an avalanche of those to start the stream, so it is Jaywin's turn this time.
His parents are gonna love him if he
Four
actually
raise.
folds.
He is going to 3-bet.
That's an idea. I could shoot a cookie and spit it out.
It's going to make it 75.
I would find that perfect.
See if Matt wants to make the call and try to hit a 3 here. It's already got 25 in.
Oh, I'm sure you weren't
It's
getting
going to go ahead and see a flop.
Yeah, no
Technically,
way. Yeah, that,
What do you think of
about a 50-50 hand here.
Did David leave already?
he spit that out, too.
Everybody misses, but Matt's pair of 3 is still good. Jaywin with some backdoor possibilities.
Got him in orbit.
One check. 4 bet.
He's in orbit. Where will he? Well, yeah, I don't know if they're going to be good in
And looks like goes check, bet, quick fold, so Jaywin's going to take that one down.
You're gonna take sweet, delicious
I'm planning on taking $1,000.
Jaywin has all the kings in his range with the 3-bet pre-flop there, so Matt's going to fight another day and let his trays go into the muck. All right, we're 26 hands in. Here's the V-pip. So Matt, he just joined us, so that's going to be a bit skewed. But Jaywin, he's been with us the whole way. He's played the most hands. Optimize
Rob's not enjoying a cookie. Rob's the
at
real
the
one.
lowest here. He's got 9%, but relatively small sample size here. And Optimize really has not had any strong holdings
I'm staying at 1 and 6.
to put money into the pot with, so I would imagine pendulum will swing the other way for Optimize at some point here, and we'll see some more action from him in the 8 seat. Jaywin folding the 7 deuce. What a nit.
7 fold. 8 fold. 1 fold.
Just kidding, obviously. 7 deuce, the worst hand in poker. All right, Bones. Gonna win with ace high.
Take the bonus.
And if we're going to play a small pot, let's make it quick and move on to the next one. $10 straddle on here for Bones. Barber pretending to look at his phone to avoid the $20 straddle. I'm kidding, Barber.
Small blind, please.
And here we go.
Send the call. The TV, we're gonna get rid of it. Oh. Is it? I don't know. 30 raise, 35.
Bones with a mystery card again, but does have an ace, ace of diamonds. Barber
If it's somehow sub 200,
sticking along with the theme of ace jack
I
tonight.
mean, does that,
It is his turn.
one bite, and you know one bite is going to be.
And looks like he's going to raise and take it. So
my friend's
two
been
very
doing,
quick hands here.
video for like 6 weeks now, and he took a bite of his kid's ice cream, and he said like his brain almost exploded. It tasted so good.
That's the problem.
Yeah. It's not like the problem is not like
It's funny how poker variance can manifest itself. Last stream, last Monday night, we had a flood of ace queens. Tonight, the hand of the night is ace jack so far.
You might eat more than a bite.
Have not seen a big pocket pair yet. I believe jacks is the biggest pocket pair holding we've seen, so we'll have aces and kings at some point.
Calorie man when his rattles come
Although we did have a stream recently where we went 90 hands, nine players before we had aces, but then we had aces twice in 3 hands. So such is the variance of poker. Here's an ace queen and another ace jack for Bones this time.
I think the birthday cake is 180.
Magic with the better kicker.
Hey, that's a good deal. That's like my favorite. That's the one.
I know.
For real.
I had a chocolate chip and I had a birthday cake.
Effective stack is Magic. He's got 1.3K. The effective stack is always, if your heads up, the player with the least amount of money in their stack.
When you get 2 cookies and you put vanilla ice cream in the middle, have you ever done that? Like a little.
Yeah.
Queen on the turn for Magic was ahead and now even further ahead.
That sits in your stomach
Bones,
after.
though, is going to bet out, represent the queen that Magic actually has. So
My nephew
quick
is
call
one of the
from
big
Magic.
home, you know? Hey guys, what's up? They're all watching, getting major support.
Go stand behind Bones.
3 of spades changes nothing on the river, so
But when you wait,
see what Bones does here. He's just going to give up and check. See if Magic goes for some value. It's a
How old are they? I think
somewhat connected board. Magic's going to go big. He's going to try to make it look like a
good thing they're
bluff.
watching, you know, watching their uncle gamble, you know?
Goes full pot.
No drinking today?
Very interesting decision there. Maybe trying to get a hero call out of Bones
Oh, no, you're thinking about it.
with a smaller pair or even ace high, but Bones isn't going to bite.
I thought you had a bet to like not drink or something. That was January. Oh, okay.
Nice hand for Magic.
He celebrated when that was over. There was a celebration.
We know what Bones has, so why not go for the gold? Probably wasn't going to get any more value out of Bones, even with a smaller bet. Bones, a very savvy player, not going to pay you off
I mean, a 7
very easily.
yeah, there's maybe those seconds.
Maybe those techies as well?
Had a chance to talk with Bones pre-stream about his
Oh, I thought it was Heineken.
personal poker story. He
I do like that the techies better.
started playing in the vicinity of the moneymaker boom in the early 2000s. Started playing online sit and goes and had some early success and has parlayed that into playing some of the highest stakes cash games in the Austin area. At least that's all that I'm aware of. I'm sure that he plays elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
Always fun to watch him play. He's a master of the game, I would say. All right, we've got a suited connector for Just James. A couple of kings for Magic and Barber. Queen, queen, deuce. Everybody whiffs. Just James is going to take a stab.
I think the way it works is like to help them make more money. What they do is like
Magic not a believer yet.
sub-orders in the area.
See if Just James can pick up a spade on the turn here. Does not.
I check. 7-bet, 50, 5 fold.
Seven of diamonds on the turn, change nothing, and we move on to hand 30. Thanks again to everyone joining us in chat. Feel free to provide your comments on the play and ask any questions. I'll try to engage as much as I can. We have the live stream YouTube chat pulled up. We've got Facebook. We have Kick.
Like right now, I'm like starving. Like 8 o'clock's probably.
Chime in
like,
with
tell us,
any
like,
medium you choose.
It's only 7.
Is it really?
Try to give you a shout out.
It's because I had like nothing for dinner.
Wow, another ace jack. This one's suited for Optimize. He finally has a hand he can play.
Really helpful to just keep thinking about it and keep talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like the more you talk about food, the more weight you gain.
Focus on the lack and the restriction most of all. That's
I believe Optimize,
the best thing to do.
unfortunately for him, finally picks up a hand and just
You know
wins
what I found out
the
recently
blinds
is crazy?
and
That
straddle.
Brains burn 20% of our calories.
That's like one of those like fake.
No, I don't know. It's not.
It's one of those fibs that you hear. Like,
No.
Like you only use like 20% of your brain or whatever.
Always fun to watch Optimize play. He's a regular in our 2-5 game here on Monday nights
That's
and
not true.
many other nights of the week.
I saw like a thing where
Very fun guy to play with.
best players burn like 3,500 calories during a session.
I don't believe that.
That can't be right.
Can also judge how much he's winning by how much he is laughing.
6 hours back.
Yeah, it's like long matches. They're not eating. They're just thinking. They're taking.
And here we go. We finally have our first premium pocket pair.
Adderall's like the key to being good.
A couple of kings for Magic. He's going to raise it up. He's been a pretty active player, so
Like, seriously.
probably hoping he gets a little action based on his image, but nobody with anything here. And just wins the blinds.
Anytime I've played poker on Adderall, I've like
Does
made
not
the
show it.
right decision.
I like that.
Like seriously, like it's like
A lot of
I was
players
like, I feel
tempted
like
to
I
show
can't
their
lose,
big
like,
pocket pairs.
Oh, dude.
They are pretty to look at, but don't really want to give that information that you're raising an early position with typically premium holdings.
I thought Fast and Furious would prove their point, but
Got the double straddle on here from Optimize. He's going to
different impossible obstacles.
raise the stakes to $20. Once again, that double straddle is a big difference maker versus the single straddle.
One of my favorite ones was when
See if we can get some folks with at least a couple players with something they can
I mean, this movie is just like so far from its original premise.
go to battle with.
You ever watch like Bollywood movies? They're exactly like that. It'll be like a guy like riding a horse and he'll slide the horse underneath the tree.
Here on hand 32, I believe that would be the shack. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Once again,
7 or 8.
not a lot for anyone here. Magic is going to try to steal the straddle, and Optimize says no with his pair of sixes. So suited king for Magic, needs some, hoping for some diamonds, and gets top pair. Sets for Optimize. The patience has paid off, and this is a tough spot for Magic. He knows that Optimize's range is pretty wide from the straddle there. He's going to defend pretty often with a wide range of hands, and this is about as strong as he's going to be. Has a very disguised set here. Diamond on the turn would have been interesting, but we get the eight of spades, so Optimize still way ahead. Magic is going to keep telling his story. He does have top pair, but is drawing dead on the turn. Goes about 3/4 pot. Optimize trying to decide if he's going to raise now or later. He's going to go ahead and choose now. Oh, excuse me. He just flats. I love the flat. It's not a very scary board. Optimize may think that's a good turn. Could have improved Magic, but does not. Actually a scare card for Magic. So that's probably going to slow things down. Unfortunate river for Optimize. Definitely puts a cap on how much money he can get in this pot. See what he does. Appeared to be around half pot. No, more. Oh, wow. Quick call for Magic, and Optimize is going to show him the bad news. Very nice hand there for Optimize. Wins a little over 1,500, and he is in business.
See all of them. Every card. Didn't work.
I would say that's very optimal from Optimize. Wait till you have a set. Get max value. Tough spot there for Magic. Straddle versus straddle. Flop top pair, you think you're good. Opponent flops a set. Maybe thinking he could get away in the for the viewers with the ace on the river, but he knows that Optimize is going to fire at that ace or represent the ace.
1,000 behind.
Pretty high percentage of the time.
Oh, can I straddle still?
The public one or public?
Straddle 10.
Optimize squeezes in the $10 straddle.
It's like anyone in it. What I do get annoyed by is like Swim's game had
Matt Potts with a
and they had like
weak ace.
but like he won't let them open a second table. Or like they just don't open a second table.
Is that a call card?
Looks like
Raise to 25.
All right.
All of his
Splish splash.
have a holding spot,
Big call.
so they might not even.
Optimize says he's going to splash, and I would agree with King 6, but this is a pretty fair fight.
Big check.
I'm just wondering. Just trying to figure out where you're at, you know?
Nobody connects with this board. We've got a couple of spades.
One check.
Semi-connected board. Board is now more connected.
I see, that makes sense, because sometimes I get to the lodge and I'm
Still
like,
nobody with a pair, so ace high is still good for Matt. It's going to take a stab, and I would imagine this is going to end the hand, and it does.
No good.
A little profit there for Matt.
Just this hand?
But I never did that. Like, if you
You can
weren't there,
snap full queen 3? No chance.
I don't know, man. I've seen you play.
he's a capable player. Huh? You know, interestingly enough, there was a guy that
I'm a really good caller. That's what I'm the best at. I'm really good at calling. I like to call.
Button.
and I was playing a private game, and some guy next to me, like, they happen to know each other somehow. So I was like, all right, let me message the managers, and the managers told me, like, yeah, no, it's a private game. Like,
Especially when it's me and Chris in a hand. It's like $10,000.
I never thought we could have gotten away with that with the other side.
Snap
I
caller.
paid for Chris's vacation once. Did he ever tell you that?
Oh, I'm sure you'd have.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Got a
favorite
few
Christmas
hundred
vacation.
people across all mediums.
Immediately when
Give
I
us a like.
He was gone for about 3 weeks. And
Make a comment. Helps the algorithm. Gets a few more folks exposed to TCH Austin live stream. We would appreciate that. Doesn't cost a thing.
somebody told him about me, you know? So they know.
5 raise 50.
Yeah, they were probably watching. Oh wait, they weren't watching. That was off stream.
Got a pair of 9s here for just James.
Stream. All the good hands happen after.
Pair of 5s quickly folds.
I remember I think everyone was
Wasn't
stuck
quite
with
able to
that stream.
catch who folded the 5s there. I would typically go set mining.
A lot of hands. Particular hand.
And we've got our second set in 3 hands. So set for James here. top pair for Bones. Same, very similar scenario to the Magic versus Optimize hand. 5 on the turn does not improve either player. Does make 7-8 a straight. James has to love this spot. One of my personal favorite scenarios is flopping a set on an ace-high board. Very likely that your opponent has played an ace. A. Jones in chat says,
An extra sandwich.
let's go, Just James. Just James does go ahead and win a
Extra sandwich.
bit of a small one here.
Board is like half an hour late. But no, I think Tumble 22 is running slow.
Pretty quick fold there for Bones. He gets away for the minimum with top pair.
Yes.
Nicely played by Bones.
In that case,
We're on to our 4th bomb pod of the night.
If I was a dealer, I feel like that would confuse me.
I saw him do it. That's the only reason. I was watching him
Pick
do
him
it.
out. When you call forwards, this guy comes in here and builds shit.
Yeah.
Starts doing that.
No, they do. Yeah. However, you did confuse my action tracker. She's like, C5 and C7 don't have their money.
Everybody antes up, and Kristen is about to give us a couple boards.
It was Chris. Chris was really
Kristen, not only the dealer, but also the game organizer for our streams.
check. 1 check, 2 check, 3 check.
If you would like to play on stream at TCH at any of our locations, go to texascardhouse.com. There is a sign-up form. You can give just some basic information about yourself. And we'll get you set up to come on to one of the streams. Get a chance to show off your poker skills. So we've got a set of aces here for Magic on the turn.
4 bet 8. 5
Pretty connected board there. J-Win has trip 10s. No friend. Oh, he does have a friend. He has 10s full of 5s. So J-Win in the driver's seat for the moment on the bottom board. See if we have another player with a 10. Chris does have a 10 as well. He's going to hope to boat up on the river here. Has plenty of overs to the 5 of J-Win, so the deuce is not going to improve him. So J-Win is going to be good on the bottom, and I believe a set of aces. Oh, we actually have a chop on the bottom. Both players with 10-5. Missed J-Win's 5 earlier. Magic has the top.
All you need is love.
Sewn up.
All you need is love.
Lots of straights his opponents could have, and unfortunately Magic is going to have to lay down the winner on the top. And actually Chris is going to get 3/4 of this.
Ace.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to win the top, and J-Win is going to win half of the bottom.
Oh my gosh. I should have called.
Never a good feeling to get
When you called, I didn't
quartered with a full house. Typically, if you get quartered, it's going to be when you have a straight. Occasionally does happen with a boat. Can't blame Magic too much for the fold there. There's a lot of straights with that board texture that his opponents are going to have on the top board, having only the set of aces. So a little bit of an unfortunate run out there for Magic.
Usually put it on. They got me my picture on the thing. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, they have the account. What's your phone number?
805?
Oh, he's going to, that's eventually.
Yeah, signed in.
There he goes. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, that's me. Cool.
Okay. and he's
Back to No Limit Hold'em.
You're going to be the big blind for 5.
Yeah, yeah,
10? Phones, would you like to straddle 20? Or would you put what?
$20 straddle is back on from Barber. Barber in the Houston Oilers colors. Cannot read his shirt though.
These bathrooms are deteriorating.
Yeah.
We're only like 5% better than Lodge now.
You guys usually don't see the bad because our dealers are really good about cleaning it up when they see it.
Yeah.
4 fold, 3 fold, 4 fold, 5 fold, 6 fold. Put something like that in the trash. 7 raised 60. Yeah,
If you're listening to the table talk, you can hear Kristen. She's calling in the action into our booth,
Yeah. No,
and I will explain those mechanics after the hand. Now that we have Matt here waking up with kings. Second pair of kings that we've seen. Magic with kings the first time.
Yeah. Now, you're supposed to usually have a lid, you know, for sanitary reasons.
Well, now you know how many.
Only won a small pot, but looks like Matt's going to get some action here. Bones has ace-jack in position.
I thought it was just a trash can. Yeah, that sucks.
He was in the straddle, so this is his first action, and is going to raise big and has picked an unfortunate time to do so.
Like they had to wipe, and instead of dropping it, they had to pull it out.
Matt's got a real hand this time. Bones got a nice squeeze through earlier, but
Go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah, this needs to end.
looks like Bones made it 625. Matt,
Exactly. I mean, I'm shocked.
with a call, would have about 1,200 or so behind. I would imagine he's just going to stick it in here, and he does. He goes all in. Bones picking the wrong time to squeeze. Would have about 30% equity if he makes the call with his ace. Lets it go. Nice win there for Matt. $700 profit. Doesn't even have to see a flop. Pretty good scenario there for a big pocket pair there.
Good bluff.
Second time fight above 1 green.
Yeah, it is. That looks amazing. Holy shit. You see that? You guys see that sandwich?
Hey, you went wrong with cookies. You should have brought him
That's
a
like-
chicken sandwich.
That looks unbelievable. That looks like it's like 2,000 calories. But oh, man.
Yeah.
No.
Don't go there.
Looks like it.
Don't go.
I get like a sandwich with fries and a Coke. It's like 3,800 calories.
Yeah, right.
4 fold, 5 fold, 6 fold, 7 fold, fold.
Lots of folds. And kings again, that must have been a misread because we're seeing. Oh, no, Barber.
1 raise 55.
Graphic appeared that he folded, but I thought it must have been a misread. Obviously, he wouldn't throw away kings, but got kings versus ace-queen here. See what Barber decides to do. He's got a raise ahead of him from Matt. Got a raise, a 3-bet, and we'll see what Barber elects to do here.
My nephew said they want to meet you for some reason. I don't know.
Probably because I had cookies.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Declared raise, yes, 7.
Let the graphics
That's
catch up
actually probably the reason.
for a moment.
360.
Looks like Barber is just going to flat, so he's going to play this deceptively.
300.
Matt and Brandon sharing an ace, so only 2 aces left.
Oh, so 1 raise to 155.
Brandon, our new player in the 9 seat,
3 raise to
wisely disposes of it, his ace-queen. Matt's getting some pretty good pot odds, but likely knows his ace-10 is well behind the range of Barber's 4-betting range. Barber's going to go ahead and take it down.
No kings this time?
Queens.
Optimize says no kings this time, and I believe Barber said no.
No
Not
way.
queens. No.
No way, Rob. No way.
See if we can get our first pair of bullets. Have not seen aces yet. 38 hands in. I believe we've had kings 3 times. No queens. Jay Wynn had jacks earlier. Pretty marginal holdings here, so we're going to have 8-6 suited 1 gapper to the flop. Couple of diamonds. Flush draw for Barber, top pair for Matt.
My nephew said you look like a cool dude.
Tesla.
Should get interesting. Matt's going to lead out for a 3rd pot, or actually a little less. Throws in the 25, tells the dealer it's 20.
And then not.
Barber's going to
Those are $500,000.
call with his flush draw. Now improves to a gut shot.
Alex letting us like
Barber with 6 outs here.
One, yeah. So that one was 700.
Needs a diamond or the remaining 9.
yeah, that it's funny that all these huge pots are like never full. Someone running a big bluff.
Matt actually improving now to 2 pair.
Blast the fuck off. 3 streets.
See what Barber does. I would imagine
Sometimes you're balancing when the other guy has top set.
might choose to raise as a semi-bluff now that he picked up the gutter, but he actually is going to let this go. So Matt's going to win a small one there with 2 pair. A little bit on the tighter side there from Barber. I think a lot of folks would have elected to see that river card, try to improve to a straight or flush.
Yeah, that's what he was just saying.
There's another one.
No, yeah, Doug was
Pretty small pot though.
100,000 last time. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the whole stream, but it was
Blood in the water, huh? Was that the game that Lady was playing? Zang?
Rob, why are you?
yeah.
Why are you black?
Interesting.
I just looked over and
I told him, he was like, dude, call yourself Kenny Doherty, this kid from our hometown. And I was like, no, I have the perfect name.
Help us get to 150 likes, folks.
See it. It's just him.
Just take a quick moment there.
So he's gonna watch the
Button
game,
right
see
below
that,
the screen,
he won.
or the video image on YouTube. If you're on Facebook or Kick,
Is that his name?
Who's?
Who's Matt?
appreciate a like as well. Bones here with the poor man's big slick. It's got ace-5 suited.
Yeah, I told him his picture as like his guest membership has a picture of you now. They changed that Matt Pond's view with like a mushroom hat.
Backdoor flush 10 brings in the front door.
I'm surprised, like, so I like
Hearts,
scanned in,
but
right?
nobody
like,
with a
scanned in,
heart.
And then they're like, pull up Matt, and like they pulled me over. I thought they were
Goes
gonna be
check,
like,
check.
You're not the guy in the picture.
4th heart
I forget what
comes,
They said something else. I was like, okay.
no flush.
You need to update your photo.
Yeah. They said we need to update your photo. Yeah.
Because
they look so different.
And they were like, oh, he looks like way different. He looks so much different now. We should update.
Bone's going to represent a heart, but Magic with just ace high. Gonna take it down.
Thank you, Bones. It's always fun to Shackleton. He probably went to the bathroom to wash his hands. He's got a post. You got a post. It's auto post. We auto post the lines, but you guys had said it's a mandatory 10, so I didn't want to post it.
Oh, it's a mandatory 10?
You guys have not said it.
Oh.
For everybody but Dan.
Yeah, we don't want to pressure.
Usually
Had started on the mechanics of the stream just for the viewers. So Kristen in the box dealing the cards with the headset. She is calling out the action seat by seat, bet by bet to our producer Mel, who's here in the studio with myself.
Can you slide his card? Thank you.
Mel inputting that data so you can get the bet sizings and actions here in real time. We are on a delay, so about 15 minutes,
Once in a day, yeah. I waited.
obviously for the integrity of the game.
I got hit the other day.
Who did we're gonna need a
And it looks like we have a walk here for James in the straddle, so
I only straddled
James gets a free orbit.
Good play.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll just buy all.
Small blind.
Oh, post. Perfect.
Yep, this is small blind. I didn't post your 10 straddle because they hadn't said it's mandatory. But the blinds are mandatory shot. Or mandatory post. Sorry.
Did you eat that whole sandwich?
Like 99.2% of it.
Wow. That was a lot of sandwich.
It's one of those things, you know, where I look at the obstacle. in front of
Can't
me
quite tell who said it, but someone said, "Did you eat that whole sandwich?" And the answer was 99.2%. Said like a true
Every bite you took, I could like
poker player.
smell the fumes of the fresh meat coming out.
Bones with ace-5 suited yet again.
Heightened senses.
This time from the cutoff. Barber with the ladies. He's just going to flat, play a little bit disguised here. Hoping for no ace or king on this flop.
Gonna take a walk now.
Pretty low board. Bones does pick up a pair of fives here. He's going to check over to Barber. Barber's going to bet pretty quickly. Yeah, not surprised at all to see Bones peel one. King on the turn. That may slow things down. Barber, I'm sure, hating that turn card. Still, though, well ahead with his queens. Goes check, check, and Barber's going to win. Moderate pot, a couple $100 in profit. Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you very much. And Caleb, watch, because you had two in your hand, you started to come forward, and you went back.
My sister-in-law,
We did the
who's been married for
75.
20 years, wants to know if you're single and available.
Me?
Yes.
Let's play a little game. What hand
I'm not.
will we get our first pair of aces?
Next time I may not be certain.
Put in the chat what hand do you think it'll be. We're on hand 42 here.
She's very invested in
Typically we end around 100, so a little short of halfway. We got the double straddle on.
Been watching the stream a while?
20 bucks from
It's
Optimize.
her first day. She's tuned in with her family.
She watches the highlights. There is no
Optimize actually flopping a set of sixes
Well,
in the double straddle a bit earlier.
not yet. They have made shorts at different points in history. Kristen, when are we gonna start making shorts?
It's David that does that, and 6 raised 80, and unfortunately his job had changed, and he hasn't had a chance. He really enjoys making those, and those.
Chris is going to raise it up and win the straddles with his deuce 4
I
suited.
want one of that ace queen versus king
Nothing
queen
wrong
hand
with that.
Rob last week. It'd be great. We'll just get a short of that. Just watch Rob's face go white.
find some more shitty toilet paper. This time on your car.
Frank says hand 47. We'll get our first bullets. Let's get some more guesses in the chat. Frank, I hope you're right. We'll have just a few more hands here. Danny says 55.
So like a middle and black card.
10 of clubs is going to be the burn. 9 fold.
What is quads of the day?
One fold. Packet 6.
Oh, you had a shot. You whiffed it.
Yeah, I know.
3 fold.
I saw all the cards though, but just didn't hit it.
Oh, that's why you're saying you had to see all the cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call,
Jay
call,
Wynn
call, call,
going to
call.
play
Yeah,
a suited connector from the cutoff.
5 call.
Cutoff being the last player to play before the button, and Chris is going to wake up here with kings.
8 fold.
This is likely to look somewhat squeezy with the cutoff raise, the button flat. So would not be surprised if Jay Wynn, he might even choose to raise here. And he's going to flat. So he does have a big hand buster. James getting a good price to come along and try to hit a set.
3 players.
This could be a very interesting flop, folks. 10 of clubs is the burn. No set for just James. Pair of 6s for Jay Wynn, if I remember correctly.
That's because
Pretty safe flop for Chris. He's going to lead out for 200. Jay Wynn's going to come along. Middle pair. Another queen on the turn. This may slow things down. Chris could be worried that Jay Wynn had called with top pair, so he's going to check.
6 check.
That queen also makes Jay Wynn likely to think his pair of 6s are in better shape here, but Jack on the river does bring in backdoor hearts. Nobody with a heart. See what Chris decides to do. He could go ahead and go for value. Could possibly go the check call route, but he's going to go ahead and go for value. Jay Wynn may be pretty tempted to hero call here with a pair of 6s. Does lose to a jack or queen, obviously. He does make the call. I can understand why he jams. Wow. Very strong move there by Jay Wynn. This is the blender for Chris. This definitely looks like a queen at the least. Could even be queens full for Jay Wynn. Queen Jack would have played very similarly. And lets it go. What a move by Jay Wynn. Pure aggression. Gets the better hand to fold.
Thank you very much, Jay.
That is a professional jam there by Jay Wynn.
Is everybody doing the 10?
Yeah.
I'll do the third one.
Nasty spot there for Chris. Just
When Bones takes him off.
your heart sinks when you see that jam on the river there after
Yeah, I lost $10 in EV when you brought the cookies. So
likely believing your kings are ahead most of the way. The board pairing the top pair or the top card on the flop
You only skip it once.
no, I didn't do the first hand either.
had to be a big concern.
That's all right, he's gonna straddle for 40 next
Wait,
time.
no, the first one doesn't count. 1 fold.
I don't know about that.
Texture like that.
If I have like 2.
Play of the night so far by Jay Wynn.
Let me see if I can put the 20 in.
Hey, Jay, there's cookies over here if you want some. Right?
6 raise.
Cookies over here if you want some.
7
Oh, of course.
I know, right? Who wouldn't want cookies?
8 fold.
Suited ace-5 for Chris.
The birthday ones, KJ, or everything.
Birthday one.
Barber now with ace-10
No,
from
no,
the low
it's
jack.
He's doing a late one today.
Weight loss, but I'm still currently.
Yeah, he's done it.
I didn't win it, you know.
No, you're just doing it. I figured we'd celebrate.
We don't like pushing and
Yeah.
Nobody connecting. Queen high board. Just check, check.
Yeah, but anytime in mine, you just done it.
It's a good bluff card for either player. Chris is going to let it go. Barber actually taking a bluff, semi-bluff there. He did have a gut shot to Broadway and an overcard,
Don't go downtown with Jay.
as well as the best hand.
Yeah, I'll be fair. We call it die, bro.
Goes fast. Goes real fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Double straddle is on from Bones. Optimize with the queen 10 offsuit from the small blind. He's going to try to get some straddle money, and that's going to work.
Give me like 8 whites. There he is. You growing it out?
No, dude, I'm about to shave like tonight. It's water.
You decided it's too much.
Yeah, I'm a little warm.
Stick with it. You made it this far.
Everyone's giving me confidence. I like
You made it this far. You just gotta clean it up. See,
But it has no utility. I clean it up. Like, I like being warm.
oh, it's the warm.
Everything in my life
Well,
is for
we have a
You can do like a Civil War reenactment.
Folks, feel free to chime in to the chat, Facebook,
Some utility.
YouTube, Kick.
Georgetown and
Yeah.
Glad to hear your comments, questions. Tell us who you're rooting for, where you're watching from.
warm weather's right around the corner. I'll be happy.
You're this far in. You made it this
I
far.
might style one time. I don't want to just completely.
Suited ace for Chris. He's going to raise it up from the hijack.
Yeah, maybe people need to figure out the style. Like, what if it's like
Magic with the suited queen.
maybe like
Going to call in position.
pull off handlebar? Actually, you could.
Bones going for the squeeze with his king jack.
Totally. You shave all down here. No, leave it all the way down.
All the way down, right?
All the way down
And that's going to do it.
here, and then all.
So,
You look good.
Frank, this is your aces hand. Let's see if you can hit it on the head. Hand 47 coming up.
I think you're gonna be able to pull that off. Actually.
Frank Boisberg. Hopefully I have the pronunciation correct there, or close. Previously called hand 47 as our first hand with bullets, so we'll see.
Button is in seat 9. You are the.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna move it to this one pocket. That's right, damn it. Got all those. I want to say something big on
And the hand of the night reappears. We've got ace jack suited for J-Win.
4 raise 40. Is it?
He is +1 in the +1. Chris with the better ace. He's got ace queen. He's going to 3-bet.
6 raise 150.
Makes it 150 here.
7 fold, 8 fold, 9 fold, 1 fold, 2 fold, 3 fold.
Back to J-Win. He's going to have to put another 110 in.
Seat 1.
Ace jack offsuit shrinks pretty quickly if you're playing out of position.
That shows my bluff. You're gonna get the mission.
Okay, it's my fault. I can't. I've been having a hard time reaching here. And because I'm so
Chris is a very experienced, aggressive player, though, so his range can be a bit wider here with the 4-bet. Or excuse me, the 3-bet. J-Win's going to make the call here. Ace high flop would be tough for J-Win, but we get 3-3-6, connects with no one. Ace high still good for Chris with his queen kicker. Backdoor hearts for J-Win. Prefer not to chase that on a paired board. However, J-Win might make another move. Just got through a huge move versus Chris. And Chris held pocket kings.
I'm so sorry.
And he's gonna go for it again. So J-Win laying the hammer down. It's gonna be tough for Chris to continue unless he thinks J-Win's on a bluffing. J-Win has won another nice pot with basically air. Nice play.
Listen, he has his ROI in that game is like 101%.
Oh my god.
Slightly winning.
Slightly winning.
I think.
Oh,
like,
yeah. I've heard of some people expressing it. I think what he means is 1%. Yeah.
No. He's not winning. That would imply he's winning in video. The ROI, yeah. The actual ROI is like 99. That's why casinos don't really offer comps.
Yeah.
Really, like if you play perfectly, what most people aren't doing.
It's 98.6, actually. It's lower than you think. The double-double bonus is 99.5, but there's like a lot of...
There's a bunch of different video.
I used to play video poker a lot. Bad idea.
All right, we've got suited king queen for Chris. Optimized with the suited king. He's going to raise it up. He is in position from the hijack.
Dude, even if you play quarter at the bar, like if you play like 125, like a hand, like you easily blow through. It goes so fast. You blow through $100 in like 10 minutes.
You're better off playing on like DraftKings or something.
What?
Yeah,
yeah.
Like if you go to the Encore, they don't give you.
Got a monotone flop here. We've got all hearts, ace high.
Yeah, they give you like 7-5 or 8-5. That's like the full house and flush pair.
You make one last wager on a full house.
Optimize is going to take a stab, represent the ace. It's probably going to be pretty convincing for Chris.
Like 6 units.
Looks like he thought about it for a moment. Could have made some type of move, but we'll fight another day. Nice move from Optimize.
I think the most. This is actually.
So looking at the winnings, J-Win actually up 1.6K, largely from aggression. No real big hands for J-Win, but exceptional play in a couple of key spots. Got Just James, Matt, and Optimize all leading the way with some profit.
Yeah.
And then 000 roulette. Yeah.
You know what I really like?
Like they have like a high roller section. It's like the same everywhere, and then video poker's the same way, and then.
Bill James in chat says Chris getting pushed around. He's been in some pretty unfortunate spots up against some tough players, so I can definitely empathize with Chris. He's certainly been put in the toughest situations of anyone at the table thus far. Fortunately for him, we just showed the profit loss, and he's around even, so Chris still with a good shot, only halfway in. We're at just after 8 o'clock, so we'll be going until 10 p.m. with you guys today. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Kyle Frisbee. I'm your host commentator today. You can follow me at KW Frisbee. That's with an IE at the end on Instagram. Post poker content from time to time, as well as my cooking skills. You can skip over that if you like. Poor man's ace king for Magic. He's going to raise it up.
Like on most games than like Vegas and the destination spots.
pot's so huge.
Pot's so huge that
Yeah.
3-bet from Brandon in position in the low jack.
No place has like 000 roulette really, but it's all
A
over.
lower ante instead of $100 ante. And an escalating price for the cards.
I've never been to the Encore. I might have been.
Bill James also pointing out accurately in the chat, yeah, Chris has been in those tough spots largely out of position. Certainly can't control when you get kings, but that's a tough spot. So we actually have an all-in and a call here with ace-5 versus ace-queen. Magic needing a 5. Does not get it, so Brandon is going to double up to 500. Nice win there for Brandon. Ace queen for Barber here from the cutoff. Cutoff being the last player to the right of the button. Chris now with the ace-5 suited.
Yeah, I lost.
He's going to squeeze. He makes it 300. Back to bones. Queen 10 shrinks quickly, and Barber dominating with the ace-queen, but
trying to get it back.
This does put him in a tough spot. He's going to go ahead and call. To the flop we go. 700 in the middle already. And clubs for Chris. Huge flop for Chris's ace-5 suited. We now have a 50-50 race. C-bet here is likely going to do it. And I would imagine Barber's hand going into the muck here in the next few seconds. Nice play from Chris. A. Jones asks if James is still the biggest winner. He's still a winner, but Jay Wynn, I believe, holds that title for now. I believe he was up 1.6K a moment ago after a couple of nice aggressive moves.
I would put my whole roll that's not going to happen. I have like 4 more, wait, no. March, April, May.
Speaking of aggressive moves, nice play from Chris there.
Like 3.5.
Been on the wrong end of a couple of bluffs or previously. Tough spots he was put in, so good to see him on the other end.
Pretty much he lost the water.
I drank a bunch of water, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I drank like 6 pounds of water.
His pocket's full of change
Like
and stuff.
4 hours before he booked the weight loss, but he's down like 3 pounds. He's got it. It's pretty much his time.
Jay Wynn from the cutoff with the Jack-9 suited, very playable. It's just James's turn to have a suited ace-5. And as is the theme, ace-5 is going to be 3-bet.
I'll be all right. I've done it before.
125 is the price now. See what Jay Wynn decides to do. Makes the call.
Yeah. Hey, Hey Rob, you want to book some side action on this with me? I'll
Everybody misses on a queen high flop.
You know what I will do? Free of charge. What?
I'll actually. I'll
Jalen
take
checks to just James.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I'm in.
I still can't. I don't want to bet for or against you. But I know you're gonna be like, hey man, you ever hear of Ozempic?
He's gonna let it go. Really, not a lot going there for Jack 9 suited.
You know, coach, let me know.
It's like everywhere I see James is just sweating. Sweating and grinding his teeth.
So many good ideas.
I'm gonna be like Versace at the poker room. I'm gonna turn into Versace.
That guy was messed up.
You know Versace. He gave me his number. He took my phone. He took my phone and subbed to his YouTube channel from my account, and then he commented on like his post from my account, and he responded to my comment he made. No, it's to boost his engagement. Yeah, it's to boost his engagement. Yeah, I'll try to find it.
He's a character. Hilarious. I remember I called James when he was
And the ladies for Brandon.
like, oh, I'm in the car room right now. He's like, here's Versace. Versace first. Like, immediate sales.
See that pop back up here as other folks fold out.
Gang up immediately. No way.
Just James going to come along with a suited one gapper.
Subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. and I was already like.
Optimized now with kings. This is going to be a tough spot.
If you ask me one more time, I will unfollow you and never talk to you again.
Brandon has a short stack, so I'd imagine we're going to see it all get in here. Optimized going to be way ahead.
You just asked me an hour ago. Like,
He's unfair. A lot of people, it's like every dealer that came by our table.
Brandon not really with a stack that he
I
can.
was texting.
He does jam. Yep. Really his only play there, and he'll be snap called by Optimize. Optimize going to be way ahead here, 82%.
Posted shorts. And
in my
I'm
head, I
watching
was just like, Houston's just not the city, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? I would watch YouTube shorts of him slowly.
Yeah, that's what he does.
That's like the only
all he does.
content I would
And that will shut it down, basically. Optimize flopping a set.
Slow rolls my bitches.
This hand is over. 1K going to Optimize his stack here. Gotta love a hand that just kind of plays itself. Not much that Brandon can do there. Looks like he's gonna grab some chips and stay with us.
Never forget like this one is really.
I don't know why. I don't know why I was over at the maid and I think immediately he looked in the mirror and for the next he was like, you know you're a legend when the name of the building after you.
As I said earlier, if you are short stacked in this game, as Brandon was there, of course, queens versus kings, not going to change a whole lot if he has more, but going to have to win a couple of all-ins to really be able to maneuver.
I'll have to find the comment that he made on my account and then respond to him.
You guys are also describing young men.
5 raise 50.
The parallels are like exactly the
Young man acts like that too.
A couple of pairs here. Chris with the 10s, or tanks, as they're affectionately called.
Try to reconcile.
Just James going to lay down his 6s, and Chris will win a small one there with his pair of 10s.
Dude, he was at my table the whole time, right next to me.
I was at the same table with them. That was unbearable. And then we both got moved somehow across the room, and we were.
All right. Earlier, we had asked chat when we thought we'd see our first pair of aces, and Danny Dingham had guessed hand 55. We are now on hand 55. Let's see if Danny can see into the future here.
3-4 times a week now between the two clubs. Between
Seen kings several times, queens. I believe we've only had jacks once, so definitely due for the bullets.
The 1-3 was fun, but that's all they want. You get like a lot of different experience.
Magic going to raise up his suited queen 10 in position from the cutoff.
I can't remember. It's the TCH with the live stream.
He will be 3-betting Barber's initial raise.
So that's the one with and then
Looks like Potter is going to be all in yet again. See what, and it's his turn with kings.
He runs the string.
Oh, I didn't realize he ran.
He doesn't run it completely, but he's one of the ones that
Got it.
Bones with the suited ace jack.
Here's what Versace posted for my account on his own video. He posted,
Lets it
"Slow
go.
rolling
Barber
son of a gun. I was in the hand ass clown."
Gets rid of
And then he
his,
responded
and
himself and
Magic
said,
is
"I
going to
can
make
wipe
the
my ass with
call.
the feeling now in your stack. Keep the money coming. You're still here."
Looks like we have a little pause here to get things caught up, but
he wrote.
see an 8-high flop. We're going to need running spades, and that's going to be it. Brandon is going to get the full double and some.
Okay.
That's actually how he talks. He talks in like broken English. He said
So
he dropped
Brandon
out
now
in ninth grade.
is going to have about 650. Gets back
Honestly, I would have guessed probably
some of what he lost in the Kings versus Queens hand.
Bring the kings over here. This side of the table.
Yeah.
Nice feeling just to rebuy and get a double within the first couple of hands.
No.
Phony Turgeson in the chat with some interesting takes on aces and Jack 3
Oh,
offsuit.
he did for me.
Dude was telling us he was fake action too.
Phony, I can't say I agree, but
Nothing wrong with that.
to each their own.
Yeah, like there's
Problem
a
with
process.
aces being cracked is typically it's in a larger pot, so unless it's all in
I
pre-flop.
don't know, I think it creates a fun table dynamic if you're not like in the
you don't get
in the cross.
Hey Jones, giving a shout out to Kristen, who's actually here in the booth. So
Yeah.
nice job to
Like,
Kristen
it's so bad, like, everyone
from the
who
chat.
straddled the table
She has
kinda,
given
like,
a
acted
thumbs
like
up.
he forgot, or like get up his one hand that he was supposed to straddle just to save $10.
We'll have a new dealer here momentarily. So
Just to save $10.
as mentioned, we're on a bit of a purposeful delay here. Got a suited ace 10 for Bones. He is going to raise it up. 3-betting 2. Looks like about 160. 165. Chris has Snowman. Has several different options here. He can call and set mine or re-raise. It looks like he's chosen the calling route. No offense to Bones, but ace 8-10 would be pretty interesting. There's a 10. Top pair for Bones. Takes the driver's seat. Only one overcard to Chris's 8s, though. He
What, you deal here now?
may be more apt to not respect Bones' C-bet here. Knows he's going to be C-betting a high percentage of the time.
I saw Maui. I saw Maui up in Dallas. Yeah, it was his first day.
Does make the call.
Who was it?
Maui?
Needing an 8 and an 8 only.
Yeah. I saw
Jack
him
of
up
hearts
at
on the
TCH.
turn.
Wow.
Goes check, check. Front door spades get there on the river. Chris with the only spade, and we're going to show it down, and Bones is going to win with his pair of 10s. Almost 800, or a little over $800. Nicely played by Bones.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What a dream spot for my hand.
Is it a bump outside?
It is going to be a bump pot. Thank you guys for everything. Enjoy. Mark, how
Ace
much do you
six
have
of
behind
spades.
there?
And
1,300.
And we're on to a bomb pot, folks.
Thank you very much, Jay. Appreciate it.
Looks like we will also have a dealer change, so this would be a good time for a post break. I'll be right back with you guys.
When I bring back the chips, I will.
in about 1 minute.
And I'm like,
Okay.
I'm about to grab another one.
Double check.
Want split one?
no.
Break bread.
He's right. I'm already too far behind. Like 6 pounds didn't even count.
Honestly, like those cookies aren't good for sweating because they're so like soft and moist.
Right.
They don't like trap anymore.
Got it.
Really soft.
Microwave box for 5 seconds to bring it
Yeah,
back.
well, yeah.
Oh.
You get the chocolate chip start melting a little bit.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You over
Need
here
to
now?
go harder.
Yeah.
Since when?
This week. This is my first week.
Well, congratulations on the
Thanks.
You already got your big show, huh?
Yeah. Good luck, everyone.
When you win this bet, James, you need to not be just James anymore. You need to change it to something beyond James. James 2.0.
Skinny James.
Yeah.
I only got skinny.
Here's the added stake. If he wins, I'm only gonna call him Skinny James. If he loses, he's only gonna be Fat James. All I see is only gonna be Skinny James and Fat James.
There you go.
You can use that as all the motivation you need.
Even if you gain it all back, I'll still call you skinny.
Yeah, absolutely. All the time. I will make it a point to call you Skinny James if you gain all the way back.
The needles for life. This is like my 4th time losing weight in my life.
Okay. One, two,
Well,
three, check.
So,
Got Anna in the box now,
It's the most important
dealing
time.
this
9.
hand 57 bomb pot. Looks like it checks around and we're off to a turn. Chris is going to have Broadway on the bottom board.
How much do you win for losing weight?
Chris also has hearts,
that's it.
king high hearts on the tops, and a pair.
That's worth it.
Possibly 2,000.
Excuse me, 2 pair.
What's the possible?
Chris with a ton of equity on both
It's
boards.
190, not 196.
Good chance of a scoop.
Oh, have you all settled on that or not?
I'm thinking about
He
it.
brought it up.
Barber with a set of queens needs the board to pair on the bottom.
Mixed bag for you, you know. More pressure. Is it really is it gonna work for you or against
Also
you?
has
That's why I
a
figured I'd get
10 on the top. Would make him a
Because I'm a nice guy.
Broadway straight.
I think it's because you need the pressure. You need that push. You know, 2K's
So
gonna
2
hurt.
players with scoop possibilities here. J-Win and Just James have some equity,
Exactly.
albeit low. Just James chooses to bow out, and we're 3 ways to a river.
I mean, the guy got a cost.
The 10 gets there for Barber, so he has
I like my side.
Broadway on the top board, which would be the nuts. No flushes, no paired board, and
I like your side.
we're going to have a 3/4 pot here, so Chris is going to get all of the bottom, and Barber and J-Win will be chopping the top.
Well, she said she wants Jack in the box, so that means I need to go get it probably on the way back.
Really not.
I know.
My least favorite.
Oh, come on.
Nobody
bring her-
with
bring her
clubs,
something.
so that will give
Some of that double 22.
You can take your
Double 22 is good.
Chris maybe some pause
She said that about the
No,
cookie.
you said I can't
No,
take it.
for what?
Jack in the box.
to
my
the
kid,
strength of his
no.
hand on the
For my
bottom.
wife, yeah.
Does have it tied up, so
The box will just be sitting
looks like
around.
J-Win is going to go ahead and bomb the
Balls
pot.
might wind up in that box, you know?
He pots it to 360.
All the wiping issues around here, you don't want to skip that.
Chris kind of in an in-between spot. He has 2 pair, which is no good on the top, and does have the nut straight on the bottom, but loses to any 2 clubs. So this is not an easy call, folks. He lets it go. I do not blame him, and so
I didn't realize what I had.
Barber's actually going to get 3/4 with his set of queens on the bottom and same straight as J-Win on the top. I believe that's the second time that J-Win's been 3/4. Little unlucky. Pretty common, though, to get three-quartered when you're only playing one board with a straight. Although it did have 2 pair on the bottom, so it had some chance of having the bottom if Barber was only on the top.
Thank you.
Nice hand there for Barber.
You should bet 1,000 with Rob. I'm on my side.
He won't take the action.
Rob won't take the action. Bones, give them some more action. Give them action on it, and then I'll be more motivated. What?
I bet Chris will give me action. Chris is in it for profit.
Chris saw me on vacation. I
Chris
was eating
doesn't wrap up
pretzels
his
and shit.
ethics with, you know,
Yeah.
with making
See,
money.
I gotta.
All right, folks, it's time to refresh the guesses. We still have not had pocket rockets, bullets, aces, whatever your favorite
He was sending me
pet name is.
He was sending me like gourmet Thai and like seafood.
What hand will we get aces? I've been all the way to hand 90 before with no aces.
I was like,
I don't know if you ever had a good meal.
This is a bit atypical.
the Thai menu, the Thai was like 50, right? For a meal. It was like 50 or 60.
For Lotus?
I thought I saw the menu like 50 or 60.
Had a couple guesses earlier, hand 47 and hand 55. Those did not come to fruition.
That's when I told him I was 225. He sent pictures, but then I gained a bunch of weight back. I couldn't have gained 5 pounds in a week. I ate pretty clean. I think it's just all water that I gained back.
Jaywin does not defend his straddle with 8-2 soft suit. What a nit.
Man, I just fast, dude. Stop eating.
Fast for 3 months
That's what I
straight.
just said.
Just don't eat.
You sent this to him?
Yeah, I was telling him I lost like 16 pounds from weighing. Yeah, but I think it's mostly water weight because like I got sick and I'm finally better today. And then like I ate a ton of salty food. Like I didn't gain 5 pounds of real weight in a week.
I mean,
There's no way I ate that much weight.
but did you eat this? That's my question.
Water weight, a lot of it.
No, he didn't. I sent him that from dinner.
I mean, I didn't do 16 pounds.
Oh, you sent him the picture.
Scroll through to the ribeye cut there.
Where do you go eat?
Oh, okay. Then can you get this roll? Sorry, it's not.
Everybody with nothing here, and we get a walk for just James.
That was a lot.
Check it out, Bo.
It's the stuff I put in the. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like 10 people.
You know, I went to, when I was up in Dallas, I went to Nobu.
Hand 60, folks. Thanks everybody for who has already hit the like button. We're trying to get to 150 likes. Please just take a moment, click the button. Doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
If you're in Facebook or Kick, throw in a comment. I'll do my best to reply or give you a shout out or answer your question. Got some suited queens here. Bones with the better of it. Queen Jack suited.
Take the free money, man. I'm telling you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna win.
Maybe I could just send him some pictures of like sunset.
Also has position on Barber. Oh, pardon me. Barber has the button. Barber with position here.
Now I just want Bones to lose. Like at first I kind of felt bad about taking this win, but now I just want him to lose.
Open ender and a pair for Bones.
My shop is open, buddy.
And Barber picks up a flush draw on the turn, so interesting turn card here. Barber's got a pair and a flush draw.
Fin in that 1K.
Looks like we have a bet and a quick call, so we're off to the river, which is a 10.
Yeah, dude, I lost so much like weight.
Bones is gonna win.
I lost a ton of water weight.
Jack Kicker is gonna play.
PF Chang's or Planet Fitness.
Oh,
I'm thinking that Planet
pardon
Fitness.
me, it is a chop. We had the king out there, so chop her up.
PF Chang's?
Donuts and
Both players with queens and tens, king
You
kicker.
guys should go on free donut day. Free donut
Unfortunately for
Friday.
Bones, kicker gets counterfeited on the river.
It is. I like it.
Effective at what?
Winnings, Jay went up 1.3K. Just James up just under 900.
For a snack anywhere you go.
Around the same for Optimize.
It's the best restaurant ever. Subscription restaurant.
Magic down the most, 1.3K.
$10 a month just doing a multi-call advance.
It's in a couple of tough spots. Plenty of time for a comeback. Kenna James poker coaching. Looks like a tough lineup tonight.
I can probably end up settling on 192, but not 190.
Ask who's the odds-on favorite to win the most by the end of the stream. We've got a ways to go. 3 players well into the positive here.
I've actually already thought this out. On weigh-in day, I'm not drinking water in the morning.
Put in the chat who you think will be the big winner by the end.
The bike to sweat as much as I can.
I want you extra fucking crazy.
Really could still be anyone. Got an hour and a half left.
If I lose by like a half pound, I'm gonna be like so
I want you
mad.
to just like really regret the last 3 months.
Magic's going to out-flop Optimize's 8s, top pair. And actually check it over to Optimize. Optimize is going to take a stab.
You also had a lot more to go than you did.
Yeah.
Easy call for Magic.
If I win the 196, I might be willing to do a
10 of hearts brings in a gutter for Optimize. And 9 would now make him a straight. Goes check,
I
check.
feel like it could have been like, I'll lose 30 pounds and you would have taken it.
Deuce of clubs is a big blank on the river. See, Magic is not going to go for any value here, and they're going to show down, and Magic's going to win. Pretty decent pot here, around 550.
190 something, that's
Memory serves me, that brings Magic up to down around 1K.
Yeah. I was somewhere between like 235 and 240.
Making a comeback.
Like the clothes probably weighed like an hour. And then, you know, that 6 pound of water. I was in Jay's house. I was like, I like had to pee so bad. I was like, we could just weigh in actually. And then
And here we go. We have our first bullets. Brandon is going to limp. Aces under the gun. Shows +1, but he was the first to act after the straddle. Looks like he's going to have a tough time. This is kind of the nightmare for limping aces. You're going 4-way to a flop with. Anybody could have anything. Looks like he's going to avoid disaster here. Just a pair of deuces for Magic.
sashimi only diet for like a month.
He elects to check again.
I eat sashimi only for a month straight.
Jaywin's going to take a stab. Magic not ready to fold his deuces. And Brandon folds. Possibly we had a misread of the aces. Sometimes folks in the 1 and 9 seats, a card will pass to another player near their sensor, so possibly that's what happened. If not, that would be a strange choice of action. See in the chat a couple other folks a bit confused, so possibly a misread.
I did have a couple days when I was sick when I ate like
Maybe just played in a very strange line. ultimately, Magic is going to win with a pair of ducks.
I do add salt.
Oh no.
Well, now, yeah.
Well, we'll see. That may or may not have been our first bullets.
You better stop that salt like 2-3 weeks before the final weigh.
Oh yeah.
That's how you get that last little.
No,
I'm going to go ahead and just guess that that was not aces. So we're going to say we haven't had them yet.
I love that everybody turned into a fucking high school wrestling coach.
Possibly both
You gotta wear trash bags.
Brandon and Optimize had a weak ace there. And
I know someone
Optimize's ace passed close to
He's a UFC fighter.
Brandon's sensor. One possible explanation, but we'll never know.
He sleeps in it every night.
A couple of aces here for Chris and Bones. Bones with better kicker. Brandon now with the same hand, but actually unsuited also.
There's just no way, because like you wouldn't be able to like have getting that rest.
Yeah.
That's another one. 8 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody whiffs on a 5-5-3 flop. Bones still ahead with ace-jack, and now further ahead with top pair, top kicker. As this nearly locked up, just James can hit a king on the river. That's going to go ahead and win it for Bones. Nice hand for him. Hey Jones in the chat says, yeah, why would he fold? I agree. Based on his specific seat and how it was played, I'm going to lean toward that may have been a misread of the RFID. The cards are read by a sensor in the table. You'll sometimes see the players scanning their cards in. They actually have a, you can see the TV screen behind them shows if their cards have scanned in properly. Got the jiggities for Chris from the cutoff. Magic going to wake up with nines on the button. He is going to 3-bet. Be interesting to see if Chris goes for the 4-bet here or just flats. He's going to go the flat route. See if we can get a low board here. Could be a action. Queen, queen, 6. Queen, obviously a overcard, but paired board makes it a little less likely someone has a queen. Magic drawing to 1 out. Chris taking a little stack inventory. Makes a pretty quick call. Pretty good pot building here. We're over $800. King on the turn. Neither player loves seeing that. Check, check pretty quickly. And it just keeps getting worse for both of these hands. Ace on the river. Chris is going to check to Magic. Magic just going to take showdown value and lose to the jacks. So it's kind of how it's gone for Magic tonight. He's didn't misplay anything there, but just had second best.
Yeah, right. If you were sitting down, she would have got me 1,300.
Pretty standard 3-bet from the button with a pair of nines. Chris gets some nice value though with his jacks. Jacks and ace queen typically regarded as two of the more difficult premiums to play, so always nice when you win a big Or solid pot with that.
Keep betting on that board.
Over 800 bucks. James been a little card dead for a bit. He's going to open up his King 10 offsuit. Looks like nobody wants to play with James, so we move on. Let's take a quick break just to remind you of some of the exciting spring promos going on here at TCH. This comes from our spring location. We have the Spring Classic coming up March 6th through 17th. Got a $400K guaranteed main event, $600 buy-in. Incredible value for $600. Huge prize pool. And at our North Texas locations, Las Colinas and Dallas, we have the Leap Into Spring series. Check out texascardhouse.com/Leap Into Spring series to get all the details. That series actually begins tomorrow, so head to TCH Social in Las Colinas and TCH Dallas. Over 1.8 million in guarantees. Huge prize pools coming up this spring. Spring, Texas, and our Dallas locations. J-Win still leading the way up 1.2K. Just James and Matt, Optimize, Chris all in the green, Bones around even. Magic having the toughest go of it so far. Just seems to have had second best too often for his liking, I'm sure. Poor man's ace-king for Barber. He's going to call. Matt Potts unlikely to hit a set here. Sharing the fives. No diamonds for Barber. Matt still ahead with a pair of fives. And now a straight for both players, but front door spades do get there, so we'll have a chop pot unless someone folds. This be a pretty standard call for Barber. Both players hoping for no more spades. Does not come, so
That was on my to-do list for potentially tonight. I was gonna let through.
I'm going to bet it's check, check, or check, bet,
I
call.
was like 50-50 until this week, and I was like,
Let's see, Matt. He's going to toss 150 in
I
there.
can only win it if I'm dead.
Barber playing with fire a little bit there. He tossed his cards in face up and then put the chips out.
You want to go for a few weeks?
No problem there, but definitely want to be careful about the sequence of your actions if you're making the call. He may have verbalized it.
July 4th, and then 2-3 weeks out, or you're talking like even before the main event?
If you announce call before you flip your cards out and put the money in, no problem with that. Likely what he did. We got VPIPs. Magic most active, 34%. Relatively low VPIPs across the board, though. We're sub 30 for everyone except for Magic. Optimize, the lowest at 18. Of course, over a small sample size, largely predicated with what you've been dealt. Got the Ducks for Chris.
Everyone versus that guy.
A lot of modest holdings here for everyone else. J-Win just goes ahead and tosses the ace-jack. Chris did raise that up under the gun with the straddle. And quick bet fold, and we're going to move on quickly here. Everybody welcome Anna in the box. She is a very experienced but new dealer to Texas Card House. Great to have her. Actually got to play with her dealing in the box a couple times this last week.
Not really. I was visiting my aunt in Nevada. It's like 3 hours out, so we stayed a night.
Alright, action starts. Oh. Alright, 7 folds. 8 raises to 40.
All right, we got a real hand here for Brandon. Brandon's had several big pocket pairs. Barber with the ace queen on the button, not inclined to fold. Got a 10 high flop, nobody with the 10. Brandon's queens, very safe flop, relatively safe flop for queens. Optimize though, gonna go ahead and take a stab here. Brandon with only 547 behind, so he might just go ahead and stuff it, hoping Optimize has a hand like ace-10. He just raises for about half his stack, so essentially commits himself. Barber and Optimize with no pair, so this is probably going to take it down. And does.
Alright, guys, bump up.
I believe Brandon just told Optimize something to the effect, was hoping you didn't have kings. If you've been watching the whole stream earlier, Optimize coolered Brandon with kings versus queens. And we're on to hand 70, which will be another double board PLO bomb pot. Everybody ante's up $10.
Alright, bump up. Scan your cards.
See if anybody has nut hearts or a 3. Bones has a 3 and a king, so he is filled up. He has 3s full of kings. Well ahead on the top board. Get the graphics caught up here. See who has equity on the bottom there. Looks like that's going to be Matt Potts. He has an open-ended straight flush draw. The queen 10 of hearts. Brandon also has an open-ender and 2 pair on the bottom. Bones has the top locked up. He cannot lose half the pot. Although threes full of kings being one of the weaker full houses you might show up with. Brandon's going to be good on the bottom now with his straight. So we'll be chopping here. I imagine Bones is going to go full pot and try to win the whole thing. Looks like he does. Pots it. Brandon. He's going to have to call. He's going to get half. He's probably worried about being three-quartered, as is oftentimes the case when you only have one board. He actually comes over the top, and Bones is not going to be folding.
650.
Makes the call, and we're going to chop it up.
Great, he's got the full house.
I just had to try.
Ship Don't Die, thanks for joining us on Kick.
Could have scared you with my big stack, you know?
That's right. You're not small blind. You're small house.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm a small blind. The button stays.
Oh, for about that. Yeah. You're right. $10
Double straddle on from Optimize. Jalen's got the tanks here. He's going to raise it up to 100. Magic wants to play suited connectors. He's connector. He's stuck on the knight. Good flop for him. Could go a long way.
Unbelievers.
Got a pretty good pot brewing here. We got 400 in the middle going to a flop. Jack 7-3. Looks like it sounds like it checked around. Got another jack here. I don't believe anybody had a jack. Wait to get the graphics back up here. If I recall, I believe Jaywin's pocket tens would still be good. And they are. Optimize does pick up clubs. And actually chooses to go ahead and lead out with him. Barber sharing the clubs, but dominated by Optimize's king high clubs. Nice pot brewing here. Nine on the river, so Jaywin's tens hold. Optimize knows he can't win unless he bets, though. He may check, or I could see it. He does go ahead and check. He's got two players behind him. Tough to bluff there. Jaywin, I assume, is just going to... Nope, he does go for more value. Thought he might take showdown. Nice pot there for Jaywin. Adds another 600 to his total. He is the biggest winner thus far.
We have decent brand, not like, I'll always be down to
Jay Wynn, a well-known Austin poker professional. Plays some of the highest stakes in the area. Always fun to see him here at TCH.
Are they based in South Korea?
Snowman for Matt. He's going to raise it up. Barber's got a suited ace.
Yeah, I think I heard of it too.
And is it specifically hot pot that people go there for, or?
So they have the green barbecue in the middle,
Yeah.
and then they have like individual burners that you can hot pot on.
Yeah.
And obviously they have a menu.
Yep.
Got a pair here for Barber. Top pair, that is. Well ahead.
What do you normally go for your sushi?
Matt's going to stab at it with his eights. Can't say I love that. You're 4 ways to the flop. You got 2 overcards. Aces, an ace, a queen, well in the range of really all your opponents.
Yeah, you got quite an option over there. Do you play cutting style?
Improves to 2 pair, but did not need it. Barber still in the driver's seat here. Magic's going to stab at it. It's going to be unsuccessful. See what Barber decides to do, if he's just going to raise or flat.
This is a Japanese place. I think it's close to, it's like walkable distance to Korea. Like in that same shop.
Makes the call. 2 pair is way good.
She said she noticed like this place is getting a lot of reviews.
Nice win there for Barber.
Freaking good. And we ordered like all the special stuff. And our final bill, including tip, was like $230. And now that's including food for my son. If it was just us two, it'd probably be on like $200.
Isn't that what the sushi place in Las Vegas is called? Katsumi? Or no? Katana. Didn't you say Uchi was really good here or something?
Sushi's my favorite sushi restaurant.
Isn't it like really expensive?
Like this place is worthy to be here every day. It'll be the best everyday sushi ever had. Yeah. Without having to pay, like hundreds of dollars per person. Tomodachi's good. This place is better. But I like what it's called.
Suited king queen for just James from the cutoff. Suited ace for Chris. He'll make the call. Another suited ace for Brandon. Believe he let that go. Oh, facing a bet and a 3-bet. Very understandable. Looks like James is going to 4-bet now. This is going to have to look really strong to Chris.
Right, I have the same name. And she goes, no.
Does let it go. Nice play by just James.
We got all the expensive pieces.
Wins $100, no sweat.
Man, I just thought it'd be at least $150 a person. Because after all the food, we ordered a bunch more. But anyway, I've been raving about this place. Very small place. I say small, but 10 small tables. But close by.
Suited ace for Barber.
When I went to Little Katana,
Ace jack.
they had like the average age of
Optimized with the much better suited ace. Ace queen of clubs.
I was like, it's gonna be good.
He's going to 3-bet from the small blind.
And I'm like, I don't want you to talk English.
Yeah, exactly.
I want you to make me point at pictures.
Looks like Barber's going to make the call.
Oh,
Gut shot.
I was like,
for both players. Oh, pardon me. Top pair for optimized, gutter for Barber. Barber needs a king. Probably not going to chase that gut shot with the C-bet from optimize. No diamond, no backdoor possibilities for a flush. Could be sticky and peel one here. It's a relatively small C-bet from optimize.
They gotta work on that name though.
Oh, and gets there. Barber rewarded. He is Broadway. What a turn card for Barber. Optimize could improve to the same straight with the jack, but there is only one left. Let's see what our Barber does here. Looks like he goes pretty big, a $200 bet into 555. Quick call from Optimize.
Just like lifestyle Japanese person who's like popular on YouTube, and they went to like a
No help on the river, so
and they were paying like 50 cents for like nigiri.
Barber has his stone cold nuts.
She got like 20 pieces of fish for like $10.
I mean, part of the. I mean, I don't know if it's that cheap.
See what Optimize chooses to do here.
There's just so many middlemen, right?
Yeah.
They have to get it over to us, and the best.
Looks like he went.
Like, comes
The
to us
graphics are catching up. It looks like it's going to be check, big bet from Barber, and probably a fold from Optimize.
I went to this place in Austin. It was like, it was a straight up scam. It was called sushi bar.
Yeah, lets it go.
Bro, what? That place is great. No.
Nice hand for Barber.
When did you go? When did you go?
He is climbing up the leaderboard here in the last few hands. Was already in the positive, so good night going for Barber.
The nigiri was excellent, but it's overpriced. And also, when I'm eating sushi,
Wait, how much did you pay?
It's expensive. It's like
$550 for 15.
We're at 9 Central, folks. We've got 1 hour left of poker action for you. Thanks everybody for joining us across all platforms.
Does anyone here eat $40 nigiri for
Please hit that like button. Chat with us. I'll engage as much as possible.
189 plus the 20% or 280.
I mean, that's
Let's make it a power hour.
It's easily 5%. I want. That sucks, man. I would say that place.
I wanted to like it, but it was so expensive.
Yeah.
I just felt
Like,
like I got
if I catch a punt from any of you guys, I'm probably gonna go there. You know, like, but I can't afford it unless I catch a punt.
A lot of mediocre holdings for folks. Matt's going to take down basically the blinds and straddle.
So how does like a place like Little Katana compare to like sushi ATX? Like what is it?
So sushi bar ATX is like, it's like an intimate thing. You're like,
I think they see 12 people in one.
Oh, wow.
Like that's like you have time limit, right? And from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock time limit, they serve 12 people.
And that's it.
Did you ever give it a second try?
yeah, if it was a little bit.
If you go to the 9 o'clock time block, they'll keep making things.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I got the. Really
How much does that cost?
mackerel. I got mackerel nigiri. That's incredible.
I hate mackerel.
Really?
Bones with the ace jack is going to 3-bet.
Last time I went, they didn't have mackerel on the menu. But I mean, they slightly altered the menu.
And you know what? They gave us bad money. Like they had like this like.
Back to Optimize.
Like, made me like,
Talked to Optimize briefly before the stream.
My wife said this.
He actually did not regularly play poker until he discovered Texas Card House
I think
a few years back. He's been a regular player and has moved quickly up the stakes. Seen him as recently as a week ago winning about $5,000 on stream. We were joking about playing the lowest stakes. You can come here and play for much less than 2.5. We have a 1-2 game. You can buy in for as little as $100 up to $300.
I really don't like olive flounder. I had had raw olive-flower.
Big slick suited for Magic.
Blue sushi. That was bad. That was like
Optimize with the King Queen. They've had their battles today, and Optimize is going to 3-bet. This time Magic with the real hand.
It's like mid
go there when I was like, you know, just
Yeah.
of course.
Magic is stuck a little bit, so I could imagine we've got a 4-bet incoming.
Yeah, I'd give it a second. I'd request that don't.
Could have looked to see a flop, but it looks like he's just going to stuff it, and that's going to be the end of it.
In the last 6 months, I've won twice.
Pretty big overbet jam.
I like it. I like it a lot. What I will say was there was a weird period.
Not in this case, but occasionally that can attract a call from a small, medium pocket pair, knowing that typically that move is made with ace queen. Exact hand Magic had there, but
They went back to the original man. And that's when and then I was like, all right, I'll give them another shot. And when I went, it was fantastic. Beginning to end, everything was great.
not that time.
I thought a lot of the rolls were really good.
No, I got you. Look, if I'm going to pay $300 a person, I expect everything to be perfect. Like, that's fine 90%. Yeah. Like, I want things to be perfect. That's the question, man. Should let them know.
Yeah, I would have let them know.
So, like,
You know,
I mean, a place like that.
Ace King of Spades yet again. This time it's Chris's turn. And just wins a small one. Unfortunate, nobody had anything to fight back. Interesting winnings here. We got Jay win at the top, up almost 2K, and Optimize and Magic, the only two players who are stuck at the moment.
sometimes the aces get cracked.
Do have a couple of players that had joined the stream and are no longer playing, but most of the table winning at the moment.
If you had a 55% favorability, right, like 55, 45, did you bet everything you own? Did you put your
No way.
If I, all I heard
That
was
would be the
45%
dumbest thing.
chance you end up on the street. The answer to that, Mark, would be no.
Yeah, like,
No, but he's not
considering that, like, I thought it was just
A couple of pocket pairs here, Matt and James.
Sold my house.
multi-million.
Chris with the suited queen.
And yeah, I mean, I was talking to this guy about it. I'm like, that's pretty amazing kind of the way he made all his money and everything. And the guy asked
Been a while since we saw a set. Not this time either.
put everything you own. And I was like, no. And he
I
was
go
like, this
heavy
guy
on it,
would.
like,
That's why
yeah.
he's got $300 million. And you don't.
Yeah.
Like, well, then he went broke. So I think he might
Yeah,
have
well, I mean, with that mentality.
Nines are
it doesn't
still
matter.
good for James.
If you're starting from like 100K, you have to win like 20 straight bluffs in a row.
10 of spades on the turn gives one player, Chris, a gut shot and a pair. So Chris now way in the lead. But Matt's going to take a shot at it.
Favorite you have to be to bet everything you want.
Try to represent the ace or the king,
Yeah, how big of a
possibly
favorite would you
queen
have?
jack for a
Like,
straight.
is 99 enough, or would you need like
If
99?
there's no odds, you're just talking about 101.
That is going to work. Nice play by Matt
Yeah, put your net worth on the line.
with the worst hands.
99%.
Like 99, surely like 99.9999 is enough. Like,
Kelly criterion. There's like a mathematical equation for like how much is 20 or like optimal.
Here's our V-pips, 80 hands in.
Edge and
you could get busted though.
Magic leading the way. Most active, Barbers at 30%. Well, they're the only two above 30.
Like, you could put like everything.
Brandon,
you own,
Jay Win, Optimize, all below 25%.
Like straight up. Like
Against
I mean,
10.
10x or
Like,
like
what edge do you need? Or?
I forgot the
That's a
strategy.
lot. That's a lot more interesting.
For those less familiar, it's just a
Traders, right?
good way of quickly
Traders or
evaluating how many hands players are choosing to play.
let's say that the normal position size that they'll do is 5%. So their portfolio consists of
Essentially how tight or loose players
for
playing.
them to like bet the house on something.
Have a couple folks who play on stream that are above 60 at times. Always
They're in risk mitigation.
fun to watch. It is a high variance way of playing.
Joe Chump. I can either be rich or
Watch the movie.
I got a kid, man.
Typically, you'll see the most consistent winners in that
Mississippi grind.
Dude, I love that
20
movie.
to low 30s range of
I think I saw a
VPIP.
movie like a year or 2 years ago. I swear, it's one of the only old movies I can watch, but it was so good.
They had this older guy playing this like the
Got Chris here, 3-betting with ace-10 suited.
He's like every sick fuck that I
You're like screaming at the TV, right? Like, dude, just stop.
Yeah, just stop.
Bones going to come along with 5 deuce.
They've just gone on this insane heater on
Does have position on Chris for the remainder of the hand, and Barber with a mystery 3 of hearts. I'm going to venture to guess that it's ace 3 of hearts.
and they hit. But the moral of the movie is like he hits this bet and they have like 300K now and they're eating this nice dinner. And it's like, yeah, I haven't seen my daughter in like 5 years. So it's just like, this
Jack
guy
Jack
is
8
total-
improves no one unless Barber has maybe the Jack of hearts.
Y'all know what movie we're talking about?
Still wouldn't make a ton of sense.
It's one of the best gambling movies.
I mean, it's excellent. Like A+, A+.
Probably easy.
I don't know if I...
Pretty bricky turn, 6 of spades.
I got to live it. My dad was like the worst gambling movie.
There's some bad ones. What's the one with the...
Bones is going to take a shot, which I assume is the plan all along if you're playing 5 deuce offsuit.
So good.
And unless Barber has a hidden jack, which he clearly doesn't, folds, that's going to work. Nice hand for Bones.
Currency is like...
That, folks, is how to win a $767 pot with 5 high. Nice play by Bones. Using position.
You have to watch it.
Owning Mahoney.
Like, what's the line for you to bet your whole net worth at even money? Like, how much of a favorite do you have to be?
So it's not even, right.
I don't even think I would.
I think we changed it. It's not even money, right? It's like
Because I mean, your life,
what increment?
if you double up, what's different in your life?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. But if you lose everything, it's freaking different.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends, I guess.
It depends. So if I give you a 90% edge,
No, I wouldn't take 90. I would take like 99.98. I think it's like the one.
I take 90s.
I take
I wouldn't even
99.90.
take 99. Wait, no, hold on. If it's 99.8, 99%.
There's the bullets. Bones has him this time. He can win with 5 high. Let's see what he can do with
I'm saying
pocket
I need a
aces.
99.98% chance of winning. Like, in order to bet my
Fortunately, so far, no one to give him action.
I would take even money at that point on my net worth.
Suited connector for Chris W. That's a good hand.
If we're saying 50
versus aces.
like, or if you give me 100 to 1, I'm not taking it for my net worth.
So you're saying
It's a lot more interesting for me. Like if you say like
One of the better, I should say.
100x my net worth or lose it all. That's like 50-50.
And that is a good flop.
Yeah.
If you're going to play 7-8 suited.
Because
Flops the
my
flush
life's different
draw.
at 100x. Like I'm different at 2.
But
Backdoor
but
straight options.
Losing that, I mean, come on, like losing, like everything you own, like your life's like
But I mean,
completely
you're left with a lot, right?
See how Chris chooses to play
I
it.
mean, you're left with like the ability to make money that you had in the first
Looks like we had a bet and a call, and to the turn,
make more money back. It's just
yeah, but like you lose your house.
4 of hearts now.
5 years in jail.
Chris still with 21% equity. He needs a. Oh, and he gets there on the river.
One or the other. Like we're gonna flip for it. You're either winning.
Pairs the board, unfortunately, but has to love his flush.
For 5 years and not making
I thought you
money.
said you gave me 10 million, I'm going to jail for 5 years. I'm like, yo.
Ace is
My
cracked.
wife will see you in 5 years.
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 million.
Bones just going to make the call and see the bad news there, but fortunately for him, not
Yeah, there's no
terribly
way.
damaging.
You're
Relatively,
taking like 6 months.
relative
Like,
to the
yeah,
game,
son, it's
a
like-
small-ish pot.
Oh my god.
5 years in jail.
That's way too
Long
much.
fucking time.
That's, yeah, no.
You couldn't even give me a bid.
As I
That is
mentioned,
only fun if you get
those
the
middling
super
suited
billions
connectors,
in 5 years.
if you got to play a hand versus pocket aces, generally give you a better opportunity.
Well, you know,
a long time.
you can endure a lot for that amount of money, Bones. You know, you can take it in any orifice. And you can still talk.
Yeah, we should probably clarify. Are we going to rich boy jail? Because
Yeah. Like, get camp is way different.
I'm in Connecticut.
You're going to Supermax. Yeah.
You're lying.
Bernie made
I believe him.
I'm gonna give you a Billy, and you're gonna go for 2 weeks. You're going.
How much?
You're going.
Back-to-back aces. We got James with the bullets this time, and Chris with a pair as well.
All right, a Billy for 1 year.
He is in position and is going to raise it up.
$1 billion for 1 year.
A Billy for 1 year.
A billion for 1 year might be worth it.
I could go great.
Looks like we're going to go heads up here. See if just James decides to put in the 4-bet now.
1 year. You're going.
All right, white collar crime jail for 5 years for $10 million.
He is elected to do so.
You probably got reading time.
What do you want me to do? Call? I mean,
Fold so quick from Chris, we don't even see it. So just James shows the bullets. Wins a small pot there, but you really have to put in the 4-bet. You're out of position.
We've seen both 5 years later. He's like really good at chess.
You just flat. There's a lot of scary boards for aces. So nicely played there by James.
I don't think I'd play cards in prison, but
I
chess,
would.
you know.
Come on, you got you.
I'd play cards.
No, you gotta earn them. The stakes are too high.
You're just playing for commissary.
Yeah. They're playing for like $1.
Dry ramen.
Yeah, you're like, yo, you got any Fritos?
Jaywin with the tanks. Won a nice pot earlier.
Well, wait,
The
you're
exact
3 individual
hand.
Fritos.
We're eating good tonight.
That's high stakes right there. Oh, man. Pack of marbles.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I watched like all those like prison.
Magic's turn with pocket eights. Gonna flat from the button.
No amount of money
Yeah.
that you can pay me to endure.
If I go to like minimum security camp, like
Go to summer.
they call it camp.
Summer camp.
Yeah, they call
Due
it
for a
camp.
set,
You get,
folks.
like,
It's been a
access to the
bit.
internet, you know, like,
See if Jaywin or Magic can pull it off here.
you can, like,
And
you can, like,
Jaywin
cross-side
flops the boat. Night going Jaywin's way up to this point and definitely continues. He has 99% equity on the flop.
If I was
That is
guaranteed
tough to
money
do.
anyways, yeah, I'd do like a year for like $1 billion. Actually, 10 million. 10 million's enough. That's enough where I can just like retire.
It's the call from Magic.
If I really
Oh,
want.
pardon me. Magic actually chooses to raise.
5 years is like
Only one over to his pair.
You're coming out of jail and you're like passed up.
yeah.
You need a lot of therapy.
I'm guessing Jaywin is going to flat here. He's flopped the world. Doesn't want to scare Magic off.
Right? Like, you forget how to live in the outside life.
You can't just kind of.
You ever watch the movie Shawshank Redemption?
Some movie.
If he raises, he's almost certainly getting a snap fold from Magic.
So accurate. Where it's like you got guys coming out of prison. They don't even know how to. They've been in there so long they don't know how to live on the outside. They kill themselves. It's just like they're just like it's too overwhelming.
He's going to raise it up. And
Well, it's not. That's not exactly. But it's
can't imagine Magic continuing here. This looks really strong. Like at least a 10. He is going to come along. Drawing basically dead.
yeah. You've all had
An
ample.
8 on the turn would cost him his whole stack.
At this point,
It's
you're
an
not,
ace.
You're not gonna watch it. Just accept it.
That should also slow Magic down, as Jaywin would have a lot of
I just
aces
saw
in his
Forrest Gump
range.
for the first time like 2 months ago.
Really?
Yes. Yes, seriously. See, so I do watch. Wow.
It's like 500 from Jaywin and
I love
snap fold from Magic.
How is it polarizing?
Jaywin still nice profit on the hand, about 400 bucks. I believe that puts him over 2K for the day. So nice session so far for Jaywin. Just about 45 minutes left.
You know, you generally find movies are better than books. Forrest Gump's a better movie.
I agree. Movies are better than the books. I hate when people say the book's more detailed and they say shit like, you know, picture with 1,000 words, but like.
Nothing wrong with making about $600 an hour for J-Win.
That engaging reading where they're not gonna like enjoy the movie just as much.
Unfortunately for Magic, that's feels like about the 4th or 5th time in a reasonable sized pot he's just had second best. Of course, J-Win flops a full house, but 8s versus 10s. He's had queens versus kings. He's had
I don't always read. but when I do,
unfortunate
it's 140
spots.
characters at a time.
I do like reading Twitter though.
Sometimes that's just how your session goes, but just have to remember in the future you'll be on the other side of it. It's like Bones, top pair, makes a small bet, wins 25 bucks. Moving right along. Here's the winnings. Jay win 2.2K, about 1K for James. Pot's about 600. Barber up 250. Bones a couple hundred. Magic, fortunately, down about 2K. But as I said,
It should stay where it
a lot
was.
of it not of his own doing. He's just had second best far too often. Optimize, mostly card dead, except for when he had kings versus queens. So his VPIP's also very low, largely due to the wrong end of variance in terms of his hole cards.
Yeah, so yeah, then yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. If he was button last hand, then he has button.
That was 100% of 10 bucks.
Hi, dealer, pick me.
Did you heat those cookies up or something?
We're on to a bomb pot. I will take my final quick break.
I can smell the
Be right back with you guys.
No matter what.
Just a moment.
That's why I was
Well, I return to a scoop by James. James with 100% equity on both boards. This is a dream spot in a bomb pot. His flush is a bit weak, but he's the only person with clubs. Magic actually pots it. Just James with both flushes. He calls, and he's going to scoop. The nightmare of second best for Magic continues here. He's going to lose another one. $1,000 going James's way. Nice pot for James. Be our second to last bomb pot, folks. We always end on one. We're on hand 86, making a good pace tonight. We'll typically, as mentioned, end around 100 hands at 10 o'clock Central Time. Thanks everybody for joining us. If you're in a different time zone, let us know where you're watching from. Always interested to hear where the viewers are from. We had folks on several different continents last Monday, so chime in, let us know where you're watching from. Got a suited ace here for Chris. He's going to raise it up. Jay win. King Jack. Flops top pair. One club for Chris. He's going to see bet it. Some speculative backdoor straight draws for Chris. Jay Wynn's going to make the call. Blank on the turn, deuce of spades. Changes nothing. Jay Wynn's pair of jacks are going to be good here. Imagine he'll go for some amount of value. Chris with just ace high, probably going to, ooh, wow. Jay Wynn was going to try to get a bet out of him. Love the check on the river there. That was really the only way he was going to get any more of Chris's money in the pot. Chris does not bite wisely.
Anything you find into outlets. Yeah, and he likes playing with metal objects a lot. So.
Good play to avoid it, employ, excuse me, if you feel your opponent is so far behind that any type of value bet is going to be immediately folded to, so I would imagine that was Jay Wynn's thought process there.
That's how you do it, Todd. Keep that thing in your mouth for another 16, 17 years.
Lots of pocket nines tonight. James with them this time. Suited ace 10 for Brandon, very playable from the cutoff.
It's a good move.
I mean, it's kind of annoying because we're moving in like 3 weeks, right? So like,
A lot of marginal holdings fold out here, and we're back to James and Brandon heads up.
They serve other nice purposes too. Keeps out the clean.
Pair of nines still good. James is going to bet it, and Brandon's going to come along. Six of diamonds, a blank on the turn for all intents and purposes. Optimizes favorite hand of 5-3. Would have made it straight. Optimized not in the hand with his favorite non-premium. James is going to win a small one there with his pair of nines.
I mean, I gotta imagine that's really bad for a baby, or like a toddler, to like stick a metal object in the outlet. It's gotta be good.
Boney in the chat says these are tight players. It's been maybe leaned on the tighter side. There's been a lot of aggressive four betting though. We had several moves. Jay Wynn, Bones, a few other folks, 3 and 4 betting pretty light. Nobody's really got themselves in a lot of trouble bluffing their stack off on any given hand, but
Actually, not that much stuff, honestly.
certainly has been some calculated aggression as we've gone along. Speaking of which, Magic is going to raise the ace-7 suited, which I would say is definitely not a tight play. And Bones going to 3-bet with the ace-10 suited. And Jaywin wakes up with Big Slick. Very interesting spot for Jaywin. He's got a raise and a 3-bet ahead of him. Of course, Jaywin has played a lot of poker with Bones and knows Bones can make this 3-bet pretty light, which Bones has actually done a couple of times today already. Jaywin taking a look at Bones' stack to see what he's got behind. Would not be. He just stuffs it.
Excuse me, guys. Buddy told me that you guys made
Heart's going to be pounding for Jaywin to not be snap called by either Chris or Bones, and
but they're for y'all, though, I heard.
we know that's not going to be happening. So Jaywin's going to win a nice sweat-free profit here
What? You feed 2 in one day. Good.
of $452.
Format bluffs, yeah. Because I have a vlog, you know.
Jaywin now up over 2.5K on the night. I believe he
Yeah, imagine if I start like recording like that. I'm just like holding them up
2.7,
from,
I
like,
believe.
Like I'm holding aces. Jaywin's all in. That's what Versace does.
Really nice session for
He looks at his
Jaywin so
cards, he
far.
pulls his
He's
phone out, he can start recording for a second.
flopped a boat, but he's also made some very timely moves
Versace call.
to win big pots with air. So
Versace call.
Jaywin has won
I'm running pretty good today.
every way possible tonight.
From hearing. Being reminded.
Oh, we have water again.
Brandon just going to fold the trays. Certainly would have raised that and hoped to go set mining.
There you go, Blake. Back in the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Some GTO charts would say to go ahead and fold that, but cash games like these, sets are just so valuable. And just James has his turn with Big Slick suited. Can't see Barber continuing with a queen-9 here. And that's going to be it for Just James. Just James been a little unlucky. He's picked up a few big hands in spots where he 3-bets and his opponents just don't have a hand they can come along with. Nonetheless, James still one of our profiting players for the night. We'll get to the final totals before we're done here. 30 minutes left. Thanks again, everyone for joining us. Got a suited ace for Barber. Just going to get some action from another suited ace. And of course, we get a rainbow flop. Top pair for Magic. Magic finally with a hand here. Oh, pardon me. Top and bottom pair for Magic. He certainly deserves this. He's had second best so often tonight. Unfortunately, don't see him getting too much back in this spot. Barber really just with a backdoor flush draw and one overcard.
It's so ridiculous. I love it. You can't help but watch, you know?
The table Rob was at said he was like waiting forever for them.
That's going to do it. Magic gets
They were
decent
just,
pot there.
Very good players. They were just like getting it over, you know? High level play.
Where?
It was just like high level play over there.
Oh, at
Yeah. At that, no, the table you moved from.
It actually was pretty high level play on my table. I should have saved it.
there's a lot of people in Vegas.
A lot of regs in the 2-5 Dallas.
They didn't want to give away their.
So if you were in Austin today, felt like spring outside, warm and sunny. And speaking of which, we have our Spring Classic coming up in Spring, Texas. Very easy to name. It's got a $100K main event. $600 buy-in.
Yeah.
Head over to Spring, Texas. That's going to be a great event. I will be there. Say hi if you happen to run into me.
Yeah, the game I was in on.
And also, starting tomorrow,
It was like
the Leap into Spring series at Las Colinas and Dallas. Over 1.8 million in guarantees. Multiple events. Check us out at texascardhouse.com. Leap into Spring series for all the details. That's going to be an exciting event with a lot of money on the line.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like when there's like 8 other people at the table trying to get one person's money, it's really not that great.
Pair of 8's still good for Chris. Can't love the ace out there. He's going to go ahead and bet, and I would imagine that's going to be good enough to go ahead and take this one down. Has to get through 3 players. Optimize does have a gutter. He's going to play it aggressively, and I would imagine that's going to win it for Optimize. It's going to be a well-timed semi-bluff.
Yeah, they literally play for like 14
Nice play by Optimize.
It's a good city to knit it up. You can easily make probably.
Could have thrown it away very easily. Instead, profits $170.
I just don't like how like close the tables are to each other. I feel like pretty cramped.
They're really tight.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't get a bigger room for more tables. I mean, I guess I didn't expect it to be that huge.
Looks like we should get over 100 hands tonight. Compliments to the players. Not a lot of tanking. Everybody moving the action along pretty quickly. Got an ace-queen suited for Matt. Of course, all these players highly experienced, kind of a mix of pros and regular mid and high stakes players.
Well, the surprising thing is
Top pair
all
here
of
for
them
Matt.
W, and they're like 10 minutes
Brandon with
apart from each other.
pretty big miss on the flop there and makes a quick fold.
Yeah.
They need a very friendly jurisdiction.
Small pot for Matt, but nobody ever went bust dragging a pot.
I mean, the migration's already happened. Like,
Yeah, people are
90%
playing
of
lost
the players
games.
are already in the new location.
Yeah, like I had one guy tell me that when a 2-5 does run at the other TCH, it's usually a crazy game, but generally people don't play over already.
Yeah, it was mostly 1-2 over there, right? It's like 1-2 500.
Yeah, I was just there. I didn't know the difference, so I looked it up. And I'm like,
You gotta go to.
so I went to the other one. No, the one thing is nice. The 1-2 there is $500 buy-in. That's nice.
The old location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
The new location.
the new location is 300. Yeah.
Yeah.
The old location expanded it because of close by competitors that have since shut down. So my guess is they'll go away with the $500.
Got a couple of ace queens here. Another ace for Magic. And Bones, we got 3 ace queens. You do not see this very often. I'm going to venture to guess we do not see an ace or a queen on the flop. A queen, the case queen would be very interesting. Bones is going to make the call, believe, of Matt. Matt attempted a squeeze here with King 7 suited. He actually is extremely live. Tough for him to know that, though. Just James in an interesting spot here. He's, yeah, I think ace queen is a fold. In that spot, you have a 3-bet and a call. Magic going to come along with his ace deuce suited, and Brandon also bowing out with his ace queen. Bones, unfortunately, has very few ways to improve, and we got Jack 6 on the flop. No jack.
For sure. I really would have.
Ace queen still ahead. Does have backdoor hearts, and Matt's going to keep telling his story here, and
Yeah, I was the rest of that.
My wife texted me. She was like,
be
"Oh my
interesting to
God,
see
man,
what
I can't believe
Bones
this. I don't know what it was."
chooses to do. It looks like
Oh man.
She was like,
he might have bad
she was like,
intentions.
someone got really lucky or something.
Oh, okay.
Not me.
He's going to call, and he's ahead with no
I
pair.
bluff with a better hand. I don't know what this is doing. I assume we would bluff.
Got almost $1,500 to the turn, folks, and another spade. Front door spades come in, and actually Matt makes a pair.
I did not get lucky.
Okay, well.
I had bottom pair.
Okay, well.
Yeah, the overpair or tens?
I had an overpair with a bad. I had bad block.
Matt may be fearing that Bones flatted with a spade draw, or the obvious concern is he has a jack, but Matt has a stranglehold on this pot if he could find a way to either make this call or jam over the top. That would be a very bold move. You'd
Yeah.
certainly be fearing a snap call from a jack or a flush.
You guys should have had a couple more cookies.
I call that a sugar rush. Sugar rush in a good spot.
What a move by Bones. Nice.
If I had 2K,
Wins a 2K pot with ace high.
What did it show? Now it hurts that I didn't jam.
Not too late. Still got about 20, 30 minutes left.
Pretty impressive there from Bones. Wins a pot when he shares ace queen with two other players, ends up heads up. His opponent hits the turn, has 96% equity, and
That's what I was like. I was like,
nonetheless takes down a $2,000 pot.
Ace king with no spade. Okay, fair enough.
I would say that, along with Jay Wynn's bluff jam earlier, probably the two hands of the night, or at least moves of the night.
Okay.
That was a good fold. Ace queen would be a fold.
Definitely not. It's really close, really close. I think the bones call's really close. It's just a little too
That's
much.
certainly why Bones and Jay Wynn are two of the most
Just a little too much.
respected players in the Austin
It's hard to
poker arena.
2K.
Huge flop for just James. Top pair and a flush draw. Brandon hits a pair.
Really?
It's way behind. Brandon with only 500 behind goes ahead and makes a fold correctly.
Oh, sorry. You really had deuces, bones? No?
Kudos to Anna in the box, dealing the cards, calling the action to the booth here.
So you were folding.
I believe this is also her first time doing this at TCH Live. I'm given the thumbs up by Mel, our producer, doing the work on the other end.
I was mostly worried about raw. If I run into kings, I would just run into ace king, whatever.
Speaking of favorite non-premiums, 9-7 suited for Barber. That is my favorite. And does connect, hits middle pair. Looks like we have a quick bet from Magic, who also made a pair. Barber
Just leave 700
makes a
bucks.
call here. Goes check, check on the turn to an 8 of clubs on the river. Barber's pair of 9 still going to be good. Looks like we had a bet and a fold. And the pot's pushed Barber's way. Way to play the 9-7 suited, Barber.
Bump up. Right for Jack.
Love to see it.
Beginning to come.
Thank you. All right.
End of this cookie there if you want some after you're down.
Really, really sweet. Thank you. I think I might do that. With a cup of coffee.
I've heard they're pretty good.
We're celebrating your first week.
All right.
And we're on to a bomb pot.
I like that kind of celebration.
Players telling Anna they're celebrating her first week.
Oh, wait, two more cards.
Good vibes on the table.
Got milk.
You got me with that.
All these players know each other. I believe everyone's played with everyone at some point in time. Some of them significant number of hours.
No?
No.
We got another hour or something?
Half an hour probably.
It's just the bomb pot.
It's 9:28.
Alrighty. Check. Two check, three checks, four check, check 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Brandon has a 10 and a jack, so he has 10s full. But not all the equity. Looks like might be missing a hand here. Barber has trip queens on the top board. All right, Barber has a scoop. 270 in the middle.
You think you're gonna head up?
Maybe. I'll look at room. I'll probably go
Are you moving?
It's going to make it 250, just about full pot.
at least over in like 5-6 months.
Matt's going to call with his queen, and he's going to get some bad news here in a moment. This is going to be a nice pot for Barber.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Brandon called. Matt has laid it down, so Barber's going to scoop 770.
A lot of money in these times. I mean, really, for WSOP. For WSOP. Nothing's gonna be no yeah.
10, so here, full house, 10 full.
Yeah, tough spot there for Brandon. His 10s full of jacks were superseded by 10s full of kings for Barber. Barber also with the queen on top, so
I got you earlier.
he's going to win it all.
Yeah,
Barber
that'd be
putting
bumping
together a really nice session.
got it back.
He's seemed to only win the meaningful pots. He's up only 440. That may need updated after this pot, but
Did you go head up for the weekend?
Someone texted me. They said,
good session for Barber.
"Man, Jalen just did a disrespectful bluff."
Jay win, up almost 3K.
Yeah, you said you went to Houston.
Trust my gut.
Still in the
I just trust my stomach. You know, my stomach.
leader saddle.
That's right. You said there were no like big games going, right?
Ike says hi from Tennessee. Thanks for joining us.
All right, Ashton's going to switch straddle in on 4. Ashton's got 5, he double straddles. Ashton starts on 6 now. 20 to call, 20 fold.
Ike, I'm curious, put in the chat, where do you play in Tennessee, and have you ever come down to Texas to play some Hold'em?
Embarrassing the next time Chris calls me.
He's gonna call you down.
Got an ace queen for Matt Potts. He's going to raise big at 200. 3-betting over optimizes 6-9. Optimize lets it go, says just kidding.
$60 donations to
No, that's F and Bob. You could be. You could be
Here's our V-Pips. Magic at the top, 37%. J-Win, 20.
Yeah, you could be the grandson.
Most players between 20 and 30%. Relatively standard.
Let's go. I'm here. All right, I'm here for it. I probably have a good.
There's a hand finally. J-Win's got the sevens.
Huge spot.
I thought you were reaching for the blacks.
No.
Just James with a pair of fours. Queen 6-6, not a terrible flop for fours, but well behind the sevens. And ace on the turn, nobody likes. They go check, check, and a 10 on the river changes nothing for James or J-Win. Could see J-Win maybe thinking about some kind of, it's a very small pot, but maybe a small blocker type bet. And he does. It looks like he bet $10 or $15. Yeah, it's $10. That is the definition of a blocker bet. And gets the call. Max value from J-Win.
Cooler. I was like snap folding to 20% or more. That's 10%.
James says he was snap folding for 20% or more. J-Win made it 10%.
That's true. No, I'm never raising. I can't ever raise there.
You eat one cookie, you start looking like you got top vote.
Work for KGB.
Ike in the chat says plays home games in Cooksville, Tennessee. Hasn't been to Texas in years. Probably time to come visit. You might get aces like Optimize has here. Nothing like bullets on hand 99. Fortunately, looks like he got some action. We'll get caught up here. Magic, 7-4 offsuit or suited. Magic drawing dead on the turn here. Unlikely Optimize gets any more Magic dollars. And Magic folds as quickly as possible. Not having the best night. Got the double straddle on from Optimize. J-Win with a couple of snowmen.
It was a friendly price, so I'm in there.
Way to expose yourself, Rob.
Optimize completes 40, already 20 in the double straddle.
Get you out of here.
Potts outflops everyone with a pair of nines.
I wish they did that. United States AE only.
He's going to bet 100 and 137. J-Win will flick it in.
Maybe they can hire you to go around and check everybody's papers.
Boat now
Hey,
for Potts.
get the Euros out of here, man. At all costs. I'll do it.
That 9 actually makes it a little less likely that Potts would have a 9, at least in J-Win's mind. So
That's true.
Yeah.
might be compelled to call Matt's river bet.
It looks the most like they're from Europe here.
Chris
Goes
is
very
firmly-
small.
could be European.
J-Win hands him the $75.
Definitely Barber.
Just had to pay him off there.
Look the most European.
That is hilarious. Rarely do you see a player directly pay the other player with their call.
Yeah.
I was already thinking about
It's always
Pretty
like-
amusing by J-Win
it's hard
there.
to describe,
Yeah.
but it's always kind of like swagger looking. I don't know. It's like
There's that, and there's like some jaw stuff.
jaw.
You know, like weird jaw lines that, like, yeah, you're not from here. That kind of thing.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I've seen several decidedly European players walk.
Rena puts a lot of laughing emojis in the chat. I believe that has to be to J-Win's credit.
140, I mean, they look just like this guy.
I feel like
Not enough process food.
That was pretty hilarious.
They look healthy, you know.
Matt's going to raise up the tanks.
A little too tall. That's an interesting one.
Well, you know,
Optimize with a pair. He is going to raise it up to 150. I believe that's a 4 bet. No, it's a 3 bet.
It was a good flop by me.
I thought for sure you were in there.
Just
Flat
James
for me, pre-flop.
getting rid of the
Totally
ace
wrong.
jack. Does not play well in that configuration. No help for Optimize. 10's still good. Way ahead.
I like called the guys bluff in Dallas, and I told him afterwards I was like, "The only reason you're
Optimize is
called
going to barrel, and this puts Matt in an awkward spot. Plenty of queens in Optimize's range,
I don't know
and
why Americans hate the French so much. And I was like, I don't really feel like Americans hate French people.
he's not deterred, though.
Par with Rob
Makes a good call.
back to France, and Rob's literally just immediately like, fucking hate French people. Like, literally, like, just immediately says I fucking hate French people.
Bonjour, you cheese eating.
6 of spades changes nothing.
17.
Looks like Optimize is considering a move here. Wanted to see how much Matt has behind. They're roughly equal, about 1.8K effective.
Bones, what's your like heritage?
About 1.1 SPR. Optimize is going to slow down.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Barbara, you said you're Hungarian? I definitely see that.
Matt checks back.
My wife's side of her family is Hungarian.
Another blank, so
Her, I think her,
deuce of clubs changes nothing.
her grandparents.
Optimize is probably going to be motivated to bomb this.
Yeah, like from Hungary, they moved to America, I think. And her dad is like 100% Hungarian heritage, but born in America. Really? Yeah.
That's 450. I think Matt's going to snap this off. He called with the queen high flop.
Yeah.
Nothing really has changed.
He must have had jacks optimized. Slopped him to death with jacks. Slopped him to death.
Matt, I believe, talking to Optimize, trying to get some kind of information. He's getting really good pot odds. And he does make the call. Great call by Matt. Had to hang tough there. Nicely played by
Just have a
Matt.
queen. It would hurt so much
Tough
less
call on
if
the
you just
flop
had
with
a
the
queen.
queen out there.
God, just have a queen.
I
Please.
think if
It would hurt so
Optimize
much
barrels
less.
the turn, he might win it there, but
Oh my god.
the check turn probably
2 more hands, guys.
Tell him to flip that.
made Matt confident enough to go ahead and make the call, particularly with the brick river.
They don't make shorts anymore, motherfucker. No more shorts.
out of retirement for that 3-4.
That's how you know they get absolutely no abuse rate.
One raises to 25. Two calls. Three calls. Four calls. 6 calls. 7 calls. 8 calls. 5 players. Action showtime 9.
Deuce 4-5, pair of sixes. Still good for Chris. Barber's got 2 overs and a gutter to the wheel. Brandon also with a gutter. 6 gives him the nut straight. And he's going to jam it in his last 152, and Chris is going to go nowhere.
Hoping you have a pair.
Actually has,
Oh no.
I have your blocker.
Oh no.
he blocks his straight draw, which they just discussed, but Chris is going to win that.
What?
Tough final hand there for Brandon. Could never really get anything going.
Effing Rob.
All right, folks, we're on to our final hand. This is going to be a final double board PLO bomb pot. We'll see if we can get some fireworks here. Thanks again, everyone who's joined us for the last 4 hours or so. We've seen just about the whole spectrum of poker. Big bluffs, big coolers,
Double through J, I'll take it.
well-timed moves. Obviously, the misstep here and there.
Or
Dear
Chris,
Lord,
either one, either one.
Please help Jay overplay this bomb pot.
Yeah. What do I need before I look? Okay.
Check. Blade checks. 1 check. 2 check. 3 check. 4 has 35.
Barber's flopped 2 pair on the top board, as well as a club draw on the bottom board. Has a lot of the equity here.
3 players. Go for the turn.
Danny in the chat says, thanks, been fun. I agree, Danny. Thanks for chatting and watching along. All right, Jaywin and Barber, 2 remaining soldiers to the river here. Jaywin may have just got to a scoop on the top. We'll see once we show. Nope, we do have a chop pot. So Jaywin and Barber are going to chop up the final bomb pot, and that'll be our final hand for the night. I've been your host commentator for tonight. I'm Kyle Frisbee. Follow me at KW Frisbee on Instagram. I post poker content here and there, as well as my grilling exploits. Once again, appreciate all the engagement in the chat. Please give us a final like as we sign off here. We will be back next Monday with more 2-5 action, as well as 1-3 this Thursday. And finally, because they are right around the corner, starting tomorrow, we have our Leap into Spring series at our North locations in Las Colinas and Dallas, 1.8 million in guarantees. Check out all the details on texascardhouse.com. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us. Signing off for now. Thank you.